subscribe. Subscribe to my guy, Uncle D. Tell him Big Bass sent you.
Dennis Sterling. I'm an attorney here in Houston, Texas. An advocate for black men, largely because I am a black man. I'm a black father. I have black sons. Hey man, I do what I do.
When we were young in Africa, we worshipped African Americans. We changed our names to African Americans. My friends in school were called Jim Brown, Black Moses. I was called Superfly.
Okay.
Yes. Blacks in Africa, the barbershop, we go to barbershop until blacks started wearing afro and we stopped and we started wearing afro. We blacks hated our own fabric, the dashiki.
It's culture. People assume that culture is about how you sing and how you dance and what you eat and what you wear. All right, they think it's just your rituals or your celebrations. But culture is far deeper than that. That's part of it. Culture is about framework. It's about ideas. It's about values. It's about beliefs. The stuff that shapes a people and how they live and what they build and important to them and how they govern themselves. Shout out to DT.
Why they wanna stick me for my culture, vulture? Why they wanna stick me for my culture, vulture? Why they wanna stick me for my culture, vulture? Why they wanna stick me for my culture?
Don't trip. I'm gonna take it off your hands for you.
These items aren't for sale.
How do you think your ancestors got these? You think they paid a fair price? Or did they take it? They took everything else.
Yes, we are the culture, vulture. Tell me who told ya. Put drip on like we bosses. Peep the slang you talking. Peep the way he walking. He is from the motherland, dressing like New Yorkers. Bronx, Yonkers, take it to New Orleans. Be humble, live. Wearing LA Dodgers, connivers, NBA culture, we some riders. We been getting hijacked for years, who done robbed us, fight like us. We are used to fighting, they don't fight like us. This is not a slang, Kendrick said, you are not like us. Write it up, do your imitation, try to type it up, hype it up, call it Afro beats, you can wipe it up. We the innovators, they creators, copy, bite it up. So delicious, even up in China, wanna black it up, back it up. Me no black and D, I wanna back it up. Jamaica, take it, back it up. Hold up, we can back it up. Why they wanna stick me for my culture, vulture? Why they wanna stick me for my culture, vulture? Why they wanna stick me for my culture, vulture? Why they wanna stick me for my culture? I'm from the ghetto metals, you don't know our culture. And this ain't about $1 when we rap, we are broken. Niggas rapping gave us voices again. We created choices again, proof like who the horses again. Y'all done flip the voices again, courses again. Same ones who told us do the talking, nigga. Get around them ghost folks, turn them to the sophist again. Tissue paper, wipe my ass with you an imitator. Just because you melanated, be one of the biggest haters. Stickers for the paper, taking shortcuts, elevator. We've been on the stairway of success, wishing elevators. Separators, talking tribal talk, they all denigrators. We reloaded, okay, FBA delineated.
US ain't got no culture. They is all our shit. A bunch of our.
These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the black community by the white community and have been made celebrities and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants to hear.
This nigga here? That nigga there. The realest we the f***ing culture. Was it for us who the f*** taught you? We them eagles sitting next to vultures. So tell me who don't have a culture? We the realest, we the f***ing culture. Was it for us who the f*** taught you? We them eagles sitting next to vultures. So tell me who don't have a culture? Why they wanna stick me for my culture, vulture? Why they wanna stick me for my culture, vulture? Why they wanna stick me for my culture, vulture? Why they wanna stick me for my culture? Me and Dennis teacher, he the chemist. I put music in it, educate, put out the informate. Call a violinist, we the bad guy. I'm from prison, he's a lawyer spitting. Don't get it confused, words a weapon, I'm a target hitter. YouTube, learning, discerning what's entertaining. We doing the Lord's work. Don't like it then, middle finger. Not one of them little singers. No substance, gorilla slinging. Tap dancing for mass and them. Blizzard hit at different angles. Real man shit, masculine. That's the culture for you. Mad, we ain't marching for you. That's the vulture for you. Intelligence, relevance. Stood on business, telling it. We address the room, riding in on them elephants.
American culture that is good comes from foundational Black Americans. The food, the dance, the slang, the sports, the entertainment.
Come in with a culture that they can establish a culture that they can now build businesses and industries and relate back to their homeland. Black folks get nothing.
Africa ain't built no ship and came back over and rescued one nigga since we left from Africa. Yeah, and Africans don't like us.
The music genre was created by foundational Black Americans. We are the culture.
And I'm going to keep showing the world what black
You
men
were tuned
can
in to
do.
one of the best black men advocated podcasts on YouTube. Show some love for the one and only black professional. Keep it real.
And be Superman.
You would tune in to Dennis Podcast. Keep it moving, mama's favorite of the lovely ladies. All these YouTube men dressed for the occasion, even though he on the internet. Intellect, beat you up in court and probably fist to fist. Been around the world, high value. Girl, you can't relate it. Been debated, Godfather endorsed, scared. Kevin said it. Independent black businessman, yeah, he hood related. Probably wouldn't know a big bass. Fast life, talk to me and I talk back. He can litigate it. Walk with me as we talk facts. He opinionated, saying true. He not only talking, checking court dockets. Only YouTuber putting real money in my pockets. LA back to Houston, taking off. Some Houston Rockets, Big O in the middle. I'm Elijah Wine, let's get it poppin'. Championships, we want championships. Keep the manuscript, loyalty and brotherhood. Watch out who you're hanging with.
All they want is comfortable oppression. We'll feed them false hope.
Hit that subscribe button. Yeah, y'all know what it is. Dennis Burton Podcast. One of the realest. One of the realest in the game. Let's get to it. All my lovely ladies, y'all know what it is. Show some love. Yeah, hit that like button. Subscribe right now. On our way to 100,000. Let's get it.
When we say name, we're going to give him too much clout.
You would tune in to the one, if not the best, on these YouTube streets. We call him Dennis Burling. You sit back and hate watch, clocking everything he do and say, but you yelling Dennis Burling. Show some love, ain't enough going round for a black man putting it down. We talking Dennis Burling. Taking over 2025, ain't no lies. Pull up, tell all of your guys we watching Dennis Burling. You tune in to the one, if not the best, on these YouTube streets. We call him Dennis Burling. You sit back and hate watch, clocking everything he do and say, but you yelling Dennis Burling. Show some love, ain't enough going round for a black man putting it down. We talking Dennis Burling. Taking over 2025, ain't no lies. Pull up, tell all of your guys we watching Dennis Burling.
You woke up this morning and you disrespected a that you absolutely never met in your life. You a sucker ass instant, man.
This is Uncle D, and as I always said this time, I'm out.
Almost to 10,000 followers. I want to say thank you to you guys. You know, I know for me, and I'm going to continue to say yes.
Smooth operator. Come on, everybody. Smooth operator. Smooth operator. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the broadcast. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. I'd like to give a big shout out to all of my members, man, from here to enlightenment. Thank you so much. Welcome to the membership. Who else we got up in here? We got my man B. Tisdale. Thank you for being the first person to contribute to the super chat, support the broadcast. I believe in you. Thank you so much, man. B. Tisdale, good looking out. Thank you. Welcome to the membership. Who else we got up in here? Penny Ford, all the way from Germany. What's up? Good seeing you. Thank you so much. Great having you in here. And of course, praying for Alicia, all my members, and of course, my my wrench Ma. What up, wrench Ma? We got to make sure everything is going down. So look, let me kill that. So basically, you know, you all know that Joy Reid was recently fired. And this reminds me of a quote from W.B. Du Bois. And he said that white supremacy always breaks its tools. And this means that a system of power will use individuals to serve their agenda, but discard them when they're no longer useful. And today we see that play out with the firing of MSNBC host Joy Reid. Now, in case you didn't know, this is significant.
And I'm going to let this video play real quick. You guys make sure you hit the number 1 button if you can hear the sound. I want to make sure you guys can hear it. If you can hear it, hit the number 1 button so I know. Okay, let's check this out.
And that, I'm sorry. That what I was doing had value.
Can y'all hear it? Can y'all hear that? Bless her heart. Let's go.
My show had value.
My show had
and
value. Praise God.
That, I'm sorry.
Yes, baby. They didn't think it had enough value, though. That's what it is.
That what I was doing had value.
They didn't
have value. And in the end, I'm sorry. I try not to cry.
The problem is, baby girl, they didn't think that your show had enough value. Okay. And I hate to see you out there crying like that. But let's see it again. Let's watch it cry. Go ahead, baby. You ugly. You cry ugly. You cry ugly. Okay. I'm just saying, just so you and I know. I cry ugly too. My cousin Sherman, he cried real ugly when my grandma used to give him a whooping with a switch. He cried real ugly. She cried like that, baby. Don't, you gotta, okay, but go ahead. I'm sorry. I apologize. Respect. Somebody type respect in the chat room. We're not gonna disrespect this woman's pain like that. But she do cry her ugly. Go ahead. Go ahead.
My show had value.
No, it did.
And that, I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. Don't apologize, baby. Go ahead, get it out. Get it out. Everybody in the chat room type, get it out. Get it out now.
That that what I was doing.
Yeah,
I try not to cry on TV. And I take this kind of
put yourself on TV because you wanted to see us cry. You wanted us to see you cry. You don't have to go back on that now. You wanted to share the pain. We was having a good day. Okay, we good out here. We good. We having a good day. But you wanted us to participate in your pain. So we here to listen. Go ahead.
That it mattered. I see Karen is there and she's been texting me as well. Yeah. And so what I will just say is that in the end,
who is that? And you was relieved of your duty in the end. But that's okay. That's all right. She said enough. We don't need to dwell on her pain. You understand what I'm saying? But y'all get the point. Y'all get the point that she was sad because she lost her job. But see, here's the thing, okay? For years, Joy Reid was one of the loudest voices for the liberal media. And, she used to call herself helping shape policy and political narratives that so-called influence Black voters. Now, I just need you to understand something. As far as Black Americans are concerned, and I'm talking about foundational Black Americans are concerned, as it is right now, we recognize it was some of the things that she said didn't quite agree with us wholeheartedly. And that has a lot to do with the fact that although she is a Black woman, okay, although she is technically descended from enslaved people in that her mother is from Guyana, her father is African, and therefore she is technically not a foundational Black American woman. And we could detect that. She said a few little things that was anti-foundational Black American, not a few, but several, multiple. And, the thing is, so it kind of distanced Black people away from her. And so you don't really see an outcropping of Black people saying, oh, no, oh, poor no, oh, my God. It's not a whole lot of Black people. You don't see us mobilizing in any significant numbers to try to support her, you see? Now, officially, MSNBC states that Reid's firing is part of a broader shakeup, okay? A shakeup under new leadership, okay? But the facts are deeper. Let's dig deeper, okay? The ratings dropped after Trump's election. According to Nelson Media Research, Reid lost almost half of her viewers after Trump's 2024 victory. MSNBC's overall primetime viewership dropped by 53%. Okay, so people, we don't like you no more, baby. That's what it is. We don't like you. Maybe you made us mad. Maybe you was wrong. Okay. But nevertheless, the numbers are clear, and her core audience is largely Black viewers, and they stop watching. But see, here's the thing. A political tool is no longer needed, is what we're looking at. Okay? And when Reid was able to influence Black voters, she was valuable to MSNBC. But as her ratings fell, hallelujah, as her ratings fell, as her ratings fell, as just like 1/3 of the angels, hallelujah, were cast out of heaven. As her ratings fell way down, then her usefulness went along with it. You understand me? Y'all, can I get an amen in the chat room? Can I get an amen in the chat room? She was no longer an asset in controlling political discourse. So guess what? They had to let it go. Just another MSNBC TKO. That's what happened, girl. You gone. MSNBC is being spun off. It's being, look, we got to get rid of these people, okay? It's a new media company, okay? The new president, Rebecca Cutler, she cut you from the team. She's shaping the network to better navigate Trump's second term. He don't want to talk to you. He's not going to talk to you, and they're not going to wait 4 years and hope somebody else get reelected. Not going to do that, baby. You got to go. You can cry all you want to. You can cry me a river. You can do all. You're not coming back, okay? Get your little podcast over here on YouTube, like the rest of us, and you know, do the best you can. All right. Now, part of the strategy included removing hosts like Joy Reid and replacing them with a panel show, right? A variety. It's like, okay, we tired of this. We're gonna go to a buffet. We're gonna get us a buffet going. Maybe they'll like some of them. We got to throw some Black people in there. We're gonna get Simone Sanders. Okay, she's a big girl. Okay, so big girls might like her. And then Michael Steele, former Republican, we'll get him. Since these Black dudes are becoming Republican now, we'll see if we can get him on there. But the thing is, you know, I don't know if it's gonna work. Now, Rachel Maddow, okay, y'all know Rachel Maddow, the strong young woman who is I guess friends with this young lady. You know, they were working together for many years. She has some things to say. Okay, she's very strong in the face. All right, she's strong. I mean, she's has a lot of opinions. Rachel Maddow does lots of opinions, and I think I actually have some video footage of her voicing her displeasure at the firing of Rachel Maddow, of Joy Reid. And I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick. I'm gonna try to find it. But in the meantime, you know, Rachel Maddow is one of MSNBC's biggest stars. They pay her like, what is it, $27 million or something like that, just to show up on a Monday. I mean, wow, that is amazing. Okay. Let me see if I can get this to play out for you guys. Y'all make sure, again, you know, Uncle D got some suspect equipment over here. So I need y'all to make sure you let me know that you can hear what's being said. This is Rachel Maddow right here. Let's go ahead and see if we can hear what she's saying. Let me know if you can hear.
Joy Reid's show, The Reid Out, ended tonight.
Yes, it did.
And Joy is not taking a different job in the network. She is leaving the network altogether. Mm-hmm. And that is very, very, very hard to take.
For who?
I am 51 years old. I have been.
You look every bit of 51 too, baby. You look every bit. Let me make the screen bigger since we ain't got nothing to do. It's Friday. Somebody type it's Friday. Y'all ain't got nothing to do. Just hang out with Uncle D on a Friday night. You ain't got nothing to do. Let's enjoy this together. Go ahead, ma'am. Every 51. Somebody type 51 in the chat room. She look every bit of 51 with all that makeup. Go ahead.
Gainfully employed since I was 12.
You've been working a long time.
And I have had so many different kinds of jobs, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. But in all of the jobs I have had, in all of the years I have been alive, there is no colleague for whom I have had more affection and more respect.
You're in line. So you telling me, out of all the people you work with, this one lady is your best friend. Is that what you're trying to tell me? I don't know. I just feel like you putting extras on that, just trying to, you know, make us feel like, oh, that was my girl. Well, why don't you give her a job then? Why don't you go start Rachel Maddow TV and go give her a job? If she that's your friend, y'all still close like that. I don't believe you. But go ahead.
Than Joy Reid. I love everything about her.
I bet you
I have
do.
learned so much from her. I have so much more to learn from her. I do not want to lose her as a colleague here at MSNBC. And personally, I think it is a bad mistake.
Well, cut your salary, okay? Cut your salary and let her get some of that $27 million you get for showing up once a week on Monday. And then she can come back, okay? That's what you should do, ma'am. But go ahead and finish saying what you're saying.
I do not want to lose her as a colleague here at MSNBC. And personally, I think it is a bad mistake to let her walk out the door.
I bet.
It is not my call, and I understand that.
But
that's what I think.
Rachel Maddow. Yeah, that's the thing to say. That's her peeps, right? That's a homegirl.
Stand down. True.
She went a little deeper. She called, you know, MSNBC a little racist, you know what I mean? But either way, you know, as I said, you know, she criticized the decision to fire Joy Reid. She called it a bad mistake and expressed frustration over losing her colleague. That was my girl. I love everything about her. Oh my God, you know what I'm saying? I used to love her gold wigs and blonde wigs. Oh man, even though I thought she was extra, it's all good, blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing. This racial firing, okay? Reid wasn't fired because she was black, okay? She was fired because her black audience stopped watching her. That's the racism we're talking about, okay? And without that engagement of that audience, she doesn't have any political value to MSNBC. And this is the true racial dynamic at play. MSNBC didn't fire Joy Reid to silence a black voice. They fired her because the black viewers had already tuned her out. The network saw her as a political tool, and once that tool stopped working, they got rid of her. And see, in this regard, we've seen this pattern before. The liberal media, the political establishment, they prop up black voices when it serves their agenda, only to discard them when they lose their influence. Look at the black soldiers. I'm gonna go there. Uncle D, I'll take you back 200, 300 years. So look at the black soldiers that fought in the Revolutionary War, okay? They were promised freedom, and as soon as they fought to help America get free, and the brothers fought on both sides, but as soon as they helped get free, put them right back in slavery. You understand? That's the cold part about helping them. We free, boss, we free. You said you was gonna let me be free. And then guess what? No, get on back on that. Get it here black on that plantationist. Go on back it. Right? We have a country to build now. James, you're gonna have to go back into but you said if I help you shoot the red coats, I'll be free. Well, you know, things changeth. You see what I'm saying? Went straight back to slavery. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? Same thing goes for the black soldiers who fought in the Civil War. All right. Yet, you know, after the Civil War was over, after we fought, we still were denied our rights as citizenship, had to fight some more. Black civil rights leaders, they were celebrated when their message aligned with the political goals, but they were dismissed when they challenged the system. Okay. Now, other thing, I'm gonna get this, talk about Barack Obama in a minute. I'm gonna say that one for you in a minute. But Joy Reid's firing is just another in the latest chapter in the long history of the dominant society, white supremacy, and the political elites. You know, they don't empower, they just use people. And when they're done using someone, they discard them without hesitation. So what's the big lesson? The question we need to ask ourselves is who benefits from black voices in the mainstream media, and who decides when those voices are no longer needed? See, the firing of Joy Reid is a reminder that real power doesn't come from being on a platform. It comes from having a community that listens, independent of any network or party. Okay, so black voices, you should not allow yourself to be used as tools. Okay, that's the first and easiest lesson to pick up from this. But the main thing that we want to dig into, my beautiful, wonderful people, and shout out to everybody hanging out with me tonight. It's always good to have y'all up in there. I promise you, it's going to be late, but it's going to be a barn burner. We're going to have a good time. You're going to learn something real tonight. Now, that being the case, I'm going to give you some history because, you know, I like to teach people. It's our last day of the shortest month in the year of Black History Month. So I've used every possible day to give you everything I could. Now, the thing I want you to understand is, and I want to talk a little bit more about W.B. Du Bois. Now, I've heard this quote from Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Claude Anderson. I've heard it from, shout out to Penny Ford. Thank you so much, baby. We got 4 super chats. We rolling. We rich up in here, bro. Back to what I was saying, all of our great Afrocentric leaders have said this same quote, you know, white supremacy always breaks its tools. White supremacy always breaks its tools. And they mean useless tools. And history has a way of revealing, you know, the weaknesses in systems built on oppression. Now, again, W.E.B. Du Bois, he wrote a book called Black Reconstruction in America, okay? And in that book, he discusses white supremacy always breaking its tools. And this means that the system designed to keep certain groups in power often collapses because of their own contradictions. Time and time again, oppressive systems use people to their advantage, but later discard those people when they no longer need them. Okay? Now, what does this do? It creates anger, it weakens their power, and it sparks resistance. The harder they try to stay in control, the more they get exposed on their own flaws. Okay? Now, here's the thing. Oppressive systems claim to be superior, yet they rely on the very people they try to hold down. Take, for instance, this. Oftentimes, and I often relate back to slavery, none of you all think that white men were running up into the interior of Africa, trapping Black folks and bringing them on boats hundreds of miles away. None of y'all think that, right? Y'all don't. I know that you've been told it is all the white man's fault. The white man is what put us in. Y'all been taught that, right? But I just want you to look at some of those frail, skinny white men from 400 years ago and look at some of those robust Black people. Do you think 10 or 15 white men could leave a boat after being on a boat for several months, oftentimes, get off the boat, be able to run and catch up with 100, 200, 300, 400 Black people, then round them up in the interior of Africa, by the way? Some of y'all don't even like to walk in your backyard when the grass is too high. Can you imagine running through the bush of Africa after leaving a boat and rounding up 300-400 Black people and bringing them back to the boat in chains, okay, across hundreds of miles and desert and different terrain? Without their people coming to attack, you don't really think that white people did that, do you? You don't? Okay, good. I'm glad that we are on the same page. No, so what does that mean? That means they had help. Okay, obviously they had help. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that they had help. Okay, and again, as I said, now picture that and understand that oppressive systems that claim superiority actually rely on the very people they try to hold down. In other words, they had other Africans using that. They coerced them with money. Hey, yeah, man, I'll give you some money for some Black people, call them slaves and put them on my boat. Okay, well, what do we need to do? Well, go, I don't know, whatever you do. So you have people, leaders on the African continent picking fights and saying, okay, we're at war. Okay. Now, and then they would go capture folks, put them in the pen. White folks would show up, Portugal, Spain, etc. And they round folks up and they put them on the slave ships. But they wouldn't be able to do it without help. There's a book called The Daughters of the Trade, which actually went into great detail explaining all the help provided by Africans on the west coast of Africa and all throughout the coast of Congo, where they helped the European slavers. And that's why I tell you guys all the time, the Africans owe you as much, those African nations which took over that land from those kingdoms, they owe you as much reparations as any European nation. Somebody type reparations in the chat room. Somebody type reparations for FBA in the chat rooms. Now, again, that's just one example, okay? And you know, they use you to help you fight against you. Okay. Now, the other thing is people in power often believe they can keep others down forever. But history shows that that's just not true. The more you try to control people, the more that you inspire them to rebel. All right. Now, here's the thing. It's often forgotten, but you know, there were hundreds of slave rebellions. Hundreds of slave rebellions throughout the United States from the time they put us and brought us over here. Okay, we was trying our darndest to free ourselves. Okay, we were not waiting around for a savior. We wasn't waiting around for the Civil War. I mean, you looking at a dam about to break. And black folks were fighting. They were fighting like heck to get themselves free. You understand what I'm saying? And same thing goes for the segregation laws meant to keep black people powerless. All those marches, you had black people taking time out their Sundays. Oh, we can't walk down the street. We're going to all walk down the street. All of us coming down here. Me, grandma, the kids, everybody coming down. We go now. You're going to hit us with, put you on TV showing them just how ruthless you are. You see? Even situations where when workers were exploited during the Industrial Revolution, they fought back, forming unions, labor unions. Women, when women were denied basic rights, they organized protests and movements for change. That's what they did. You will not keep people oppressed. There's something innate about every human being that says, I will be free. Okay? You will not keep human beings oppressed. It goes against our nature. No matter what, man, woman, child, y'all got some bad kids you can't control. Shout out to all the parents with bad kids. All the parents with bad kids, go, you probably supposed to be asleep right now. You sitting in your room, sipping some wine, listening to Uncle D with your earphones on, and you hear them little steps going to the kitchen. The child feels oppressed right now. Trying to tell them to go to sleep or to go now. You understand? They over there on the iPad right now. Okay, but again, oppression doesn't just cause suffering. It creates the drive to fight back. There was a writer named Audre Lorde. Okay, and she said this in the book, or the name of the book is The Master's Tools Will Never Dismantle the Master's House. Okay, all right. So think about Joy Reid in that regard. Think about all these other people. They never really talk bad about their liberal paymasters, or in some cases, their conservative paymasters. They never do that. All right. But see, the thing is, this means a system built on oppression relies on tools like propaganda, unfair laws, economic control, and that will eventually fail. You know, segregation was supposed to keep power in the hands of white folks. Did that work out well? No, largely because white folks, especially white men, kept coming over to the black side of town making biracial babies. That's largely what happened. Let me tell the truth. Right? And white men could keep their hands off of black women. There you go. How about that, dude? We don't want to talk about that, do we? Remember that first case, Loving versus Virginia? That was a white man who was trying to get him some of that colored woman. That's what that was about. That's why your segregation failed, because white men had to have it. Somebody type had to have it in the chat room. You see what I'm saying? Even when the colonial rulers tried to control indigenous people, right? Through education and cut their hair and made them forget their language. But those same schools ended up helping people gain knowledge, and they needed to fight for their own freedom. And things is system based on lies, fear, and exploitation can only last for so long before they fall apart. Because you have that indomitable spirit, that indomitable human spirit that will fight back. Look, like all forms of oppression, white supremacy is not unbeatable. In fact, if you sit back, you can see it beating itself, okay? Eventually, it's going to collapse under its own weight. The question isn't if it is, will it happen? But, you know, we know it's going to happen. The question is when. And the more people recognize its contradictions and injustices, the closer we get to dismantling it, okay? Now, that being the case, I want to talk a little bit about a great example I always saw. You know, when I guess we call them, those tools end up getting used by the same system. So the transatlantic slave trade, because we talked a little bit about Talked a little bit about how our African ancestors were purchased from the west coast of Africa, but we don't often talk about the transatlantic slave trade. And I want you to understand it was built on violence, it was built on deception, it was built on betrayal. Now, keep in mind, there was also the sub-Saharan slave trade that pre-existed the transatlantic slave trade by 1,300 years. In other words, Africans were being stolen and taken east for over 1,000 years before the first European came and took Africans across the Atlantic. So keep that in mind, okay? Keep that in mind, all right? Everybody's culpable. And again, I know we got some African brothers and sisters in here, but it's good you need to know your history too. You need to know what you did. This is you. Come over here and get your good talking to. Sit down and get your talking to. All right. Now, the thing is, though, for 3 centuries, millions of Africans were captured and forced on the ships bound for what was called the New World. The New World is the northern hemisphere. Is North America, the Caribbean, Central America, and South America. All right. But this was often overlooked. I said, what I should say was often overlooked is how even those who participated in capturing others were not safe. See, many of these African traders and warriors who were bribed and coerced, right, into helping European slavers, right, eventually they found themselves in chains, thrown into the ships, the very ships they once helped fill. So at the height of the transatlantic slave trade, European and American slavers depended on African intermediaries to capture and sell captives from deep within the continent. And these African traders were, whether they were local leaders or warriors or just straight up opportunists, they were offered weapons, textiles, alcohol, brothers over there getting drunk, and other goods in exchange for enslaved people. They wanted those European things. Now, these powerful West African states, such as the Ashanti, the Dahomey, the Oyo, they dominated the internal trade routes. Like they literally had trade routes throughout Africa where they would, bring slaves in, and they believe they can control their own fates while profiting from the system. However, this sense of security was nothing but an illusion, because the Europeans had no loyalty to any of these African tribes at all. They saw them all as the same. If a slaver, a warrior, or a trader became too powerful, they were seen as a threat. If they became too weak to defend themselves, they just turned out to be a victim. If they lost the battle or fell out of favor, they became just another piece of cargo shackled and sent across the ocean. Imagine that. You helping capture Africans and taking them to the shore and putting them in chains. Next thing you know, your tribe is overtaken, your nation is overtaken, and now you put in chains and you taken to the same shores. That's what happened. Okay. So a lot of these same Africans that ended up on the boats and the ships with the people who they had formerly captured. Think about that. See, keep this in mind. The transatlantic slave trade spanned from the early 16th century, shout out to Penny Ford, to the mid 19th century. And it was, to say the least, it was a complex and brutal system that forcibly transported 12.5 million Africans to the Americas, some of who had once captured, they had once helped capture fellow Africans who later betrayed and were enslaved themselves. Now, keep in mind, very few Africans were brought directly to the United States. And I know we got folks out there who say, oh, no, we're Native American. No, you're not. You're not. You were bred here, okay? You're bred, went to breeding farms. That's what happened. But the vast majority of Africans were brought to South America, Central America, and the Caribbean. That's where the work was. And here's the cold part about it. Many of them died. See, in places like Brazil, they didn't bother feeding and taking care of their Africans. They brought them over there, worked them to death, half fed them, and they died. They lasted about a year. Same thing was in the Caribbean. Brutal. America was actually mild compared, and it was an insidious form of chattel slavery. But as far as the brutality, as harsh and horrible as it was more brutal in places like Brazil and in the Caribbean. Keep in mind, slavery in Brazil didn't end till like the 1890s. Slavery in the United States ended in the 1865 after a war. Some of y'all's great grandparents were alive when slavery ended in Brazil, just to keep that in mind. And that 12.5 million number, that's actually pretty conservative. But here's some key dates, okay? 1526 is likely the first transatlantic slave trade voyage directly from Africa to the America occurred on that day, and it marked the beginning of the transatlantic slave trade. In 1672, the Royal African Company was granted a monopoly over English trade of enslaved people, okay? And that intensified the British involvement in the transatlantic slave trade. And just so you understand, imagine getting a government contract. Okay, your company, the Royal African Company, got a government contract from the British government saying, okay, you have permission to run all the slave trade off of West Africa. They got rich. You understand? They made millions. Okay. And it wasn't until 1807 that the British Parliament passed an abolition of the Slave Trade Act, making it illegal to engage in the slave trade within the British Empire. And so that included the Caribbean and anything they own. You see what I mean? Anything they were in control of. Now, when we talk about 1865, the 13th Amendment in the United States Constitution, it was ratified and it abolished slavery in the U.S. Now, history records many instances where African slave traders were betrayed and enslaved themselves. Some were tricked with false promises of wealth and protection. Yeah, man, come on, get on the boat, man. You'll be all right. I'll bring you back next time. You're right. You know what I'm saying? And then you had others who were just straight up taken by force. And as European slavers, you know, and rival African groups just said, all right, we about 10 short. We're going to just take y'all with us. Hop on the boat. You see what I mean? And there was a lot of situations where you had people like a gentleman named Aluda Equano. He was a former slave. I'm going to put the name in here so you guys can, I want to make sure you guys get the spelling of that. You can look him up yourself, okay? Look him up yourself, all right? Yeah, some of these Akatas was actually trying to, all of us Akatas, shout out to all my Akatas. Shout out to all of us folk who stray cats. But that's his name right there. He was an enslaved African captured, and he later became an abolitionist. And he described it in his autobiography, how African traders could be captured themselves, okay, showing that no one was truly safe. Here's another one, Abdul Rahman Ibrahim Sori. He was a West African prince. And the prince was captured in 1788. And his noble status, didn't nobody care. Sold him into slavery in the United States. And after enduring decades of enslavement, he was eventually freed and returned to Africa in 1828. Imagine that. You captured in 1788. And so 30 years go by before you're able to prove. Think about that. This was a prince, Abdul Rahman Ibrahim Sori. I want you to look him up too. I'm gonna put this name. We learning something. I'm gonna hit y'all. This is the last night of Black History Month. Y'all gonna learn something. I'm gonna beat you upside the head with these facts and dates. You're gonna learn something in here. I don't know what everybody else is gonna do, but you're gonna learn something over here. We're not just gonna sit up and talk about foolishness every day. Now that said, some African rulers who resisted European influence, like King Ajayi, he was forcibly deposed and enslaved himself. And he was actually the king of the Dahomey Empire. Warriors hired to capture slaves, sometimes they got overpowered in battle. And they were taken captive. And put on the ships and placed the folks they thought they were going to get. Again, now you got everybody on the Great Middle Passage. It's called the Great Equalizer. Regardless of how they got there, no matter what tribe they were from, what language they spoke, Everybody on there faced a nightmare. It was a journey across the Atlantic, whether you were going to South America, Central America, the Caribbean, and most folk, again, did not go directly to the United States. That's why we don't have the population that a place like Brazil has. Nevertheless, slavers, they put hundreds of men, women, and children in the hulls of these ships. They were packed in, they were shackled, they were starved, they were beaten, they were exposed to disease. Some of the scholars estimate that anywhere from 10 to 19% of these people captured, they perished in the middle of the passage, and because of overcrowding, malnutrition, and disease. And they expected many people to die. And when you died, they didn't give you a ceremony. They just took your body and threw you in the ocean. And it's my understanding that the sharks had learned to follow the boats because they knew eventually there would be bodies thrown over and they can feed on those. There was a gentleman, his name was Brooks. He lived around 1788. He was a British slave ship. You know, it was a British slave ship named Brooks, and it was infamous. You know, his capture for inhumane overcrowding. Detailed diagrams showing the horrific conditions of enslaved Africans. There was another one, a French ship called the Le Saphir, Lesapphir, 1741. It was a French ship. It was a representative of the vessels used during the height of the transatlantic slave trade, right? There was another one called the Wildfire in 1860. It was a ship intercepted near Florida with 450 enslaved Africans. So even though the British Empire had outlawed slavery in 1807, they were still bringing slaves up all the way up through 1860. Look up the Clotilda. Okay, look up the Clotilda. Okay, and again, keep in mind that a lot of these folks who were slavers or who were the children of slavers, they were the children of people who helped catch other Africans and they were brought over here too. So keep that in mind. Understand? Nevertheless, the cycle of oppression and betrayal, the story of African slavers being enslaved themselves, is a powerful example of how the system of oppression ultimately consumes even those who think they're benefiting from them. See, white supremacy does not honor your loyalty. It uses people as tools and then discards them when they're no longer useful. Okay, between 1640 and 1807, about 3.4 million Africans came to the Americas. Okay, European traders facilitated transatlantic slave trade. Many Africans captured, other Africans, wars and raids. You understand? See, so what I need y'all to understand is complicity and oppression does not guarantee you from it. See, oppression, whether it's in the past or the present, always carries with it seeds of betrayal. And the question is, will we learn from history or will we allow the cycle to repeat? Shout out to From Here to Enlightenment. I'm going to read all the super chats. Now let's slide on back to 2025, okay? See, the same pattern of betrayal that played out on the transatlantic slave trade, family, folks, and friends, you see it happening right here today in the American media and the politics. Thank you, LaShawn Jones. Welcome to the membership. See, white supremacy does not just operate through overt racism. It also operates through paternalism. The idea that Black people can't think for themselves and must be guided or controlled and manipulated, right? White liberals, those elites on that side, they claim to be allies. Somebody type allies in the chat room. And they're just as guilty. They're just as guilty as the far right-wing conservatives who just think you're inhuman. Brother Malcolm said it. Brother Martin Luther King Jr. talked about it. The Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey talked about it. Even the Honorable Thurgood Marshall, first Supreme Court Justice, spoke about it. See, for decades, our Black leaders have warned us about these so-called well-meaning white liberals who claim to be on our side, but ultimately they believe that black people lack the intelligence or ability to govern themselves. This is the same ideology that justified the transatlantic slave trade and colonialism and Jim Crow, just wrapped in a more palatable modern day package. Nowhere is this clearer than the case of Joy Reid. She was a tool of the white liberal establishment, propped up to shape the political narrative for black folks. But when she could no longer serve that function, she was discarded, just like so many other before her. Now, for years, Joy Reid positioned herself as a voice for Black America on NBC, right? That's why you watched her. She used the platform to reinforce his Democratic Party agenda that most of y'all don't even agree with. Do you want your sons in dresses? Did y'all agree with that? Did you want your children in dresses? You want your sons in dresses? You wanted open borders? Did you all agree with that? Where all my black folks at? Did y'all agree with any of that? You wanted your sons in dresses? Nope. Most of you didn't. You didn't want the idea. You didn't like the idea of these folk who, don't know what sex they are and dressing in women's clothes, reading these books to your children. You didn't want that. But she told you you wanted it. She told you that was being open-minded and accepting. You see? That's what she did. And because she was willing to do that, she was elevated, and not because of her journalistic excellence, but because she played a key role in shaping black voters' opinions in favor of the liberal elite's interests. However, when Donald Trump won re-election in 2024, a lot changed. A lot changed because number one thing changed. Black folks stopped listening to her at all. MSNBC's primetime viewership dropped over by half, I think 53%. And her ratings plummeted. So again, the real reason she was fired is not because she was black. Okay, that's not the type of racism we're talking about. She was fired because she was no longer effective as a tool to influence black voters. And see, this paternalistic action or racism, that's it in action. That's that paternalistic racism in action. The same people who gave her a platform to speak for Black America decided she was no longer useful and threw her away. They didn't fire Rachel Maddow. They didn't fire Joe Scarborough. They didn't fire, what's that lady's name? Mika Brzezinski. They fired a black woman whose influence had faded. In fact, this is exactly what Malcolm X warned us about when he said the white liberals differ from the white conservative only in one way. The liberal is more deceitful, more hypocritical than the conservative. Here you are, you got this lady, Rachel Maddow, sitting up there telling her how she learned so much from her. I learned so much from Joy Reid. She's so smart. I have so much more to learn from her. Right? Y'all don't believe that, dude. I don't believe none of it. Joy Reid was never seen as an individual thinker. She was seen as a pawn in the game. One that was sacrificed when it no longer served the agenda. Let's be clear. I need y'all to understand something, okay? She's not the only one. Do you all believe for one second that Charlamagne, the God, or Stephen A. Smith have suddenly had a political awakening? Now they're acting like they, turning their back on the Democrat Party. Y'all believe that? You heard Charlamagne giving criticism and talking stuff about the Democrat Party. Y'all have heard that fella, right? And I don't know where Stephen A. Smith came out of. He suddenly has had this political awakening. These are not truth tellers. They're survivors. And they see what I see. Right? You got Charlamagne the God out here criticizing Let me see if I can pull this video up. I want y'all to see this shift. Let me see if I can pull this video up. Let me pull this up for you guys. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let me see here. See if I can pull this up. I mean, he is going at it. He's criticizing Joe Biden. Let me let y'all see this for yourself. One second. Still here. There we go. Charlamagne the God calls out Maine governor. Charlamagne the God calls out Maine governor. Let me see if I can. I'm not gonna let it play too much. Okay. Y'all hear that?
Is going to give. That's the answer in the end.
So when to bring in the Maine state senator, help bring that into.
Can you guys hear that? Let me know if you can
the
hear.
National Spotlight. Laura Libby is here now, and good morning to you. A week ago, you shot this out on X. You said another day, another instance of an unremarkable biological male athlete who could not win against other males dominating women's sports. It's still policy today. What's going to give?
Well, hopefully Governor Mills is going to give. That's the answer in the end. President Trump is right on with issuing this executive order that the
So we can slide down here real quick.
that we need for Maine students.
Let me see. It's a little slow, but you can see the headline.
Dominating females and males, whether it's girls' sports or other similar issues.
Well, right now, the main.
Let's see if we can get another one up here for you guys to take a look at. Yeah, there we go. This is him criticizing Jasmine Crockett. There's a lot of their positions. Okay. That's what you need to understand. That's what I see. All right. Hit the number 1 button if you can hear me clearly. All right, looks like I got a little bit of feedback here. Let's see here. Oops. All right, I think we back. You guys can hear me, hit the number 1 button. If you can. Oops, boy, my screen is doing a lot. You guys can hear me clearly, hit the number 1 button. All right. You guys say I'm cutting out. You should be able to hear me a little better now. All right, all right. But anyway, so back to what I was saying. Back to what I was saying here. We're in a situation where all right, that should clear it up a little bit. So, you see Stephen A. Smith and Charlamagne the God really just out here playing the game. Okay. They read the writing on the wall. They recognize that Black America is shifting, that blind loyalty to the Democratic Party is fading. We've become a more sophisticated group of people. Shout out to all of my brothers and sisters who voted their interests, whether it was the couch, whether you voted Republican, or even if you voted Democrat. As long as you voted your interest, you did what you were supposed to do. You did what our ancestors wanted you to do. They didn't fight for you to have the right to vote just to vote for somebody who does not serve your interest. They fought so you could vote for who was in your interest. Okay. And if your interests shift from one party to another, that is fine. Okay. But again, this blind loyalty, and shout out to my man Delete Laws. Shout out to Chili. He's got this constitutional. I got a text message from him last week. I was in the midst of writing this Supreme Court brief, or this Fifth Circuit brief, and just drained. So I like talking to Mr. Delete Laws. Y'all go check his channel out. He's a brilliant legal mind, even though he's not not an attorney, just a brilliant mind. I really like his work over there addressing, kind of on the street guy, addressing police brutality and police misconduct. We need more Americans like that. But back to what I was saying. Black people are starting to ask harder questions, and the old political playbook is not working anymore. And the Democrat Party, shout out to Mercer Panama, and the Democrat Party is, they're operating by old playbook, okay? And they realize if they don't shift with the times, then they're going to be discarded, just like Joy Reid. So that's what you see Charlamagne the God doing. That's what you see Stephen A. Smith doing. I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button if you haven't already. I need you guys to hit that like button, okay? I will be right back.
It's a party going on. Hit the like, 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 hit the like. It's a party going on. We all looking at dinners. Scrambling and subscribe. It only take you a minute. Hit the cash app, super chat, be a penny. One is real good, but 20 more will be plenty. Blizzard King pay a visit. Big Blast my witness. Appreciate the love that's black men doing business. Stand up, father and brother, lawyer is he. Hall of Fame game, he's known as Uncle D. Tell it just like B, representing for we. We know time is money, you learning and pay a fee. Know it's cold outside, but the podcast hot. Giving you a feeling that these others ain't got. Say it's cold outside, but the podcast hot. Giving you a feeling that these others ain't got. Yeah, know that the blizzard come through. Bundle up for the winner, know this hit. Darren Hay watch views. Hit the like, you know that the blizzard come through. Bundle up for the winner, know this hit. Darren Hay watch views. Hit the like, hit the like, hit the like.
We still look at all the beautiful music that we've created. That's what's on the inside of us. We are wonderful people.
I want to see you win. And I put pressure on us men to understand how we did not get our masculinity training. And we've been doing our work, okay? But now it's time for you ladies to understand you're going to have to bet on us like you want us to bet on you. I talked to several men this week. I don't just get on here and talk shit. I have men I call around the world and I ask, what do you think about this concept? Level set me. Shout out to brother Dennis Spurley. Dennis, I'm not going to get, I don't want to tell people's business, but I'm going to tell you, high value men retire their women or make them come work for them. So ladies, what is it going to take for you to free yourself? Because you and I both know you're dying at these jobs. You're in a toxic.
All right, welcome back to the broadcast. Yeah. Okay, so let's continue here. So I want to pick up where we left off. Basically, what you see happening with these folks who were previously 100% all the way down with the Democrats, black people, is that they're just playing a game, okay? They built their brands within the mainstream media machine, and a machine that always used black voices as gatekeepers, as middlemen between white liberal elites and the black masses. That's where they're coming from, and their job has never been to challenge the system, only to translate and reinforce it in a way that makes it palatable for black audiences. They pitched the LGBT rights as the civil rights. You see what I mean? That's what they did. And then you say, oh, well, you know, people deserve rights. And they kind of made it palatable for us. Now, for years, they played their role. They mocked Trump. They shamed black voters who thought differently. They kept the Democratic agenda intact. But now they see the shift. Look at the polls. 21% of black men voted for Donald Trump. 7% of black women voted for Donald Trump. So what does that tell you? That's up 12% in 2020 or 2016. Now look at it. See, black people are no longer buying into the emotional manipulation of the Democratic Party. Trump's appeal to working class black voters is growing. Mainstream black voices who refuse to fall in line, right? They're gaining credibility. Charlamagne and Stephen A. Smith, these guys are professionals. They're not fools. They know that if they don't start questioning the Democrats, they're going to lose their relevance. And we'll see them as fake. And in the world of media, irrelevance is death. So make no mistake, they're not trying to free black minds. They're not all of a sudden thinking independently. They're trying to ensure that they remain in a position of power and influence within the dominant society. They're performing a controlled opposition, given just enough pushback to seem independent, right? While still keeping the seat at the table. So shout out to Penny Ford. So, and I'm gonna read all the super chats in a minute. So Charlamagne's sudden skepticism of the Democratic Party, it isn't about truth. It's about maintaining its credibility. You know, remember, this is hot sauce in the bag. Charlamagne invited Hillary Clinton up there for her to put that foolishness on. Remember when she said that? I keep my hot sauce in the bag. That was worse than washing collard greens in the tub. Okay, who fed these people these lines? Okay, but Charlamagne right now, he needs to appear to align with the frustration of black voters so he doesn't lose his grip on the culture. All right, and Stephen A. Smith calling Democratic Party pathetic. It's not about holding them accountable. It's about ensuring that he stays useful to the dominant society. He's signaling that he can still control the narrative. He can still sway black voters and still be an asset and not a liability. Because the moment they can no longer influence the black masses, they'll meet the same fate that Joy Reid met, discarded, replaced, and forgotten. See, this thing, okay, and I always bring up history because I tell you guys all the time, history doesn't repeat itself, but it has, it makes an echo. Okay? The black puppet always gets cut loose when they can no longer perform, whether we're talking about Joy Reid, she thought she was safe until she wasn't. Don Lemon, he thought he was safe until he wasn't, right? And so the fate of Charlamagne and Stephen A. Smith, if they can't prove their value to the system, you know, what's going to happen? They get discarded. That's why they're making a pivot, not because they have integrity, but because they're desperate to stay in the game. They know that the black electorate is becoming too smart for these same old tricks. And shout out to all the folks out there, man. Big shout out to all the black people. I want to just say I'm so proud of you for this last election. I'm so proud of you for resting. I'm so proud of you all for staying home. I'm just so proud of you not getting caught up into this foolishness about, who's getting deported and who's not, whether they're black, Hispanic, Asian, Latino, whatever. I'm so proud of you all. Okay? Save what energy you have to fight for what's in your own interest. Now, nevertheless, these folks see the Democratic plantation burning. They see it on fire, just like when Django set Candyland on fire. So they're racing to that position. Okay, they're trying to jump in and be the new overseers on the Republican Party, I guess. Ones who can still deliver black votes in just enough numbers to keep their seats at the table. But see, here's the problem. Black America is not looking for new overseers. Shout out to Bernard Harrell. We're definitely not looking for any new black overseers. We don't trust Charlamagne to tell us, what party to vote for. We don't need him to tell us that the Democratic Party is failing us. We've known that. We don't need Stephen A. Smith to validate our frustration. We've been frustrated, right? And we don't need anyone to lead us. We're leading ourselves. See, the real awakening isn't happening in mainstream media. It's happening on the ground, in barbershops and independent platforms, in on YouTube, on social media, in the community discussions where people are thinking for themselves. The white liberal establishment is losing control. The Black America is taking back its own mind. Whether we talk about Charlamagne, Stephen A. Smith, they aren't leading the shift. They're just chasing it. They're scrambling to stay relevant. They're hoping they can fool people into thinking they are with us so they can remain valuable to the system that always will use and discard them. But here's the reality. The clock is ticking. Their moment is coming. And when the system no longer needs them, they too will be left behind. So the question is, will they go down fighting for truth? Or will they cling to their seats at the table until they're finally inevitably pushed out the door? Only time will tell, but here is what I want to talk about tonight. The question is, at this point, or should I say this, who's the next broken tool? Somebody type who's next in the chat room. And if you see the thumbnail, I done talked about everybody else, so who do you think is next? Huh? I need some crowd participation. I want you all to say who's next in the chat room before I give you this juicy tidbit of information that you can take with and witness firsthand over the next 5 to 10 years. Somebody type who's next in the chat room and make sure you tell them you heard it here first. Who's next? Come on now. Give me what I'm asking for. Who's next? I need to see 20 people say who's next in the chat room. 20, who's next? Who's next? All right, we got 5. That's about 5. Who's next? Come on. Come on, give me what I'm asking for. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. Who's next? Who's next? That's about 11. Right? Come on. Somebody cheating. Y'all cheating. Y'all telling it before you're supposed to tell it. Very old, Barack Obama, in my opinion. Okay, and see, here's the thing. If there's anything that history has taught us, all right, it's that white supremacy always breaks its tools. And I feel that Barack Obama is next. Joy Reid was used and discarded. Charlamagne the God and Stephen A. Smith are scrambling to prove they're still useful. You know, the biggest tool of white liberal elites is the one they polished and paraded and protected for years. That's Obama. Barack Obama. Right? And right now he's on thin ice. He is on thin ice, and I'm going to explain to you how and why he's on thin ice as soon as I can pull this video up so you all can see for yourself. Okay. But he's desperate. A desperate attempt to remember when he was trying to shame black men into voting for Kamala Harris? Remember that? Remember when he got his sassy self on the internet and tried to shame black men? It was an embarrassment. Standing inside Kamala Harris's campaign headquarters in Pennsylvania in October 2024, he lectured, he berated, he insulted black men for even considering voting for Trump or staying home on election day. The arrogance and the entitlement shone through. But the difference this time is that black men were not having it. You understand? They were not having it. For years, Barack Obama was the golden child of the Democratic establishment. They presented him as the ultimate proof that America was post-racial. Somebody type post-racial in the chat room. We got Nazis over here in Ohio, and we got people being hung behind buildings in North Carolina. There was a brother who was just unalived in the VFW, literally beat to death. Veteran. We were told that black people had finally made it because we got this black president. My question is, what exactly did Barack Obama do for black America? Did he fight for reparations? No. Did he transform the educational system for black children? No. Did he even push for major police reforms? No. Did he lift black communities out of economic struggle? Nope. What did he do? He told us to stop complaining. He told us America was already great. He told us that our problems were our own fault. And now, after doing nothing for black America, in the 8 years that he was the president, he has the audacity to return and demand loyalty, to tell black men, the very group that was the most disillusioned by his presidency, that we're making excuses for not voting for Kamala Harris. And see, this isn't leadership. This is desperation. Barack Obama, again, this man was untouchable. He was Black Jesus. Somebody type Black Jesus in the chat room. He was Black Jesus, okay? And he was an untouchable political figure. Okay, he made the mistake in Pennsylvania, standing inside Kamala's headquarters, and he didn't come to listen. He came to scold us. He didn't come to show respect. He came to show condescension, and that's why that message backfired spectacularly. Now, what did Obama actually say? Well, he claimed that black men were making excuses for not voting for Kamala Harris. I believe his exact words were something to the effect of, and you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. And I've got a problem with that. Like, we care. You know what I'm saying? Right? Basically, the way we heard that was, you're too dumb to think for yourselves. If you don't support Kamala, you're just making excuses. Your concerns aren't valid. F you. They're just excuses. Get over it. That's basically what he said. Something else he said, part of it is, it makes me think, this was his words, part of it makes me think that, well, you aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president, and you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that. Didn't most of us vote for Hillary Clinton? What are you talking about, dude? And the thing is, the way it came across to black men is like, if you don't support Kamala, you must be a sexist. And it has nothing to do with her record or policies or her failures. You just don't want a woman to be in charge. Right? And black men are the most egalitarian group of men in the world. Most of us were raised by women, at least strong women in the family. This man came up and told us that when on one hand, you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences. First of all, Kamala Harris did not grow up like me. She's from Canada. She both of her parents are like professors or something like that. So who are you fooling? Kamala Harris grew up in upper middle class Canada, and she went to Howard University. It was expensive as heck. Okay, yes, it's a HBCU, but Howard, Hampton, Xavier, Dillard down in New Orleans, very expensive private HBCUs. She was privileged. She never lived the struggles of the average foundational Black American person. So he needs to stop lying. Okay, and we don't clean our collard greens in the oven, in the doggone tub. You understand me? And that's just not acceptable. All right. So now you're thinking about sitting out. This is what he said. He said that's not acceptable. Sitting on the couch. Where are all my couch people at? Sitting on the couch. So now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's a sign of strength. You, Barack Obama, have a history of denigrating us. Okay? Telling us that's what we think that's what a man is, putting women down. So now this dude, who is not the picture of masculinity, right, is now trying to tell the rest of us Black men he's putting our manhood on trial. Right? If we don't vote for Kamala, we're weak. That's basically what it is. We're sexist. We're bad men who don't think who he doesn't, who does he think he is, man? Who does this cat think he is? Shout out to all the Cash App people. And I appreciate all these people contributing to the super chat. But my gosh, it's just one or two people who's contributing so much. And I appreciate that. I really do. And I'm never going to turn down if you're learning something cool. But I wish it would be other people who would contribute. Because, again, I don't ask you to contribute anything unless you're learning something. And I know we got enough people in here. It shouldn't just be one or two people contributing to the super chats and the Cash App. But thank you so much. Thank you so much, baby. I appreciate you. You have been penny for it. Good looking out. I don't want to interrupt my broadcast to do that. But, money is hard to come by. When you got people donating left and right like that, man, that's awesome. But I really would appreciate it if we could spread it around, because I don't, it make me feel bad. You know what I'm saying? With only one person contributing, we got all these people up in here. So, but thank you so much, Penny, for it. I certainly do appreciate the contributions. You are just so dedicated to my broadcast, and it makes me so happy that I have people who are listening. And I hope you're learning, and I see you are. But, if anybody else is learning anything, let's take the burden off one person. Let's maybe spread it around a little bit, my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I know I shouldn't be telling people not to contribute. I'm not quite saying that, but I would just prefer everybody do it. You know what I'm saying? Because it makes me feel better. You know what I mean? So shout out to Lavelle. Thank you for coming through. Yaya Kids. Thank you so much, Cody Marshall. And big shout out to you too, Miss Germany friend over there, just kicking in like that. That's amazing. All the way from Germany. But thank you so much, Penny. Miss Ford, I should say. Let's get back to the broadcast. So Barack Berry, Black men interpreted his words as well, first of all, the reaction from Black men wasn't just anger, it was disgust. We saw Obama, I'm going to let y'all see it for yourself. I think I have this queued up, right? Ready to go. I'm going to let y'all get this good roasting, a little blast from the past. Let the brothers speak for themselves. Y'all hit the number 1 button if you can hear this clearly. Hit the number 1. Let me know.
Not grow up like me. She grew up in upper middle class.
Yes, she did.
Really, that don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm voting on policies. And her policy sucks. So Obama, keep your mouth shut. Okay? You're the gatekeeper. You kept the gate on a lot of Black people being ignorant.
You hear how he talking to Black Jesus? Go ahead.
Quite a few of them have awakened to the lies of the Democrat Party. So Barack Hussein Obama, kiss our. We voting for Trump.
Apparently, the former president, Barack Hussein Obama, just called me out. I don't know about y'all, but that little soliloquy of yours, Barry, sounded awfully familiar.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't Black.
Now, as one of those brothers who won't be supporting Kamala, the reasoning for this is actually quite simple. Yeah, we're done. We're done with the lying, the constant gaslighting, the identity politics, the old vote for me because I'm a black Democrat. Yeah, no. And a lot of black...
We out there playing, they ain't like us. They ain't like us. Shout out to folks who came through right quick. But I want to do this. Cody Marshall, thank you so much. Big shout out to Haywood James. We're going to interrupt the show. I will. And shout out to Carla Straight. Thank you so much. But listen to the brothers speak. This is what the brothers had. This is shocking. Never did you... And everybody's watching. That's the other thing I want you to say. Everybody's watching, okay? Keep shout out to Carlette Stratton again. Keep listening.
Black men specifically are finally waking up to this and fleeing that Democrat plantation.
Fleeing.
And you, Barry, are terrified.
Then Obama come his ass up there like he understand the motherfucking struggle.
Oh, excuse the language. Excuse the language.
At first, you wasn't even running as a black man for president, I don't think.
Fair you.
I don't want to be wrong.
Friendly.
But I'm saying, you know, goddamn, Obama, what the fuck, man? I'm not understanding this shit, man.
Family friendly.
That's all I'm saying, man. He don't understand our struggle. How the hell? Oh, you from the hood? You from my community? What the fuck you done for Chicago?
Friendly. Shout out to
Martha Vineyard. What have you done for Hawaii, man? So you think you finna do anything for?
Type family friendly in the chat room. We got to counteract this profanity up in there. I'm gonna have to pass him up.
Or make us believe that Miss Harris gonna do anything for us. You ain't doing motherfucking thing, man.
I can't.
Man, leave us alone.
Too many. Nuh-uh. You ain't gonna do my channel like that. Here you go.
I really genuinely need somebody to explain to me why Barack Obama thinks it's a great idea to go out here and have black men vote for Kamala Harris and galvanize the black male vote when this lady gonna do the same thing for us that he did, which is not a motherfucking thing. Like, let's be clear. Barack Obama talking about this is now the time for you black men to go out and vote for Kamala Harris. She needs your support. All right, we are obligated to do this because I'm going to pull out the race card out of my the same as I pulled out the race card when I told you we were going to bring change to America. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. What? Yes, we got to reverse 8 years of bad George Bush policy. The Democratic Party has convinced black people that Donald Trump is somehow already in office. This is how they work. They literally play the psychological mind game to say, if Donald Trump this, if Donald Trump that. Barack Obama, what did you do for the black people? What did you do for black people when you got in office, Barack? We gave you a Nobel. You were awarded a Nobel Peace Prize simply for being able to say you stood on the shoulders of Dr. King, Malcolm X, Medgar Evers, all the people that came before you. Did you live up to it? Did you do anything that was deserving of a Nobel Peace Prize before you got in office?
Nope.
No. Did you do anything that was deserving of a Nobel Peace Prize while you were in office? No. Did you do anything of substance for black people? No. But we treated you like Moses when in actuality you were just Pharaoh. And I'm not saying you were Pharaoh like you were oppressive in Egypt, like Pharaoh was to the Israelites in Egypt, but you were Pharaoh in terms of you held a political office, and we elevated you to the status of Martin when you didn't even do half the work he nor Malcolm did.
Where's the lie? You understand? Those of you guys who remember this broadcast that I did in October, remember when I told you what was going to happen after that? What you all were going to start to see? What did I tell you were going to start to see after these black men made it known that we don't support him like that anymore? What did I tell y'all you were gonna start to see? I got some more video footage. Let's keep looking.
Hey, Barack Obama, as a black man, this must be sad, man.
Get it, brother.
Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party. We vote for Trump, right?
All the Democrats said that all black men should vote for Harris. Meanwhile, she's married to a white man, but it's a problem when black men want to vote for a white man, but she married one.
So Barack Obama was in Pittsburgh and he had a few words to say about black men. Black men aren't excited to vote for Kamala Harris. We aren't excited to vote for her. Why do you think that, Barack? Is it because that she is drop step with one of the worst presidents we've ever had?
Yes.
Is it that she was the border czar and didn't do anything about the migrants coming over?
Yes.
Is it because she has to read from a teleprompter every time she does a rally or does something like that? Is it because black men are just saying, you know what, maybe I want to vote a different way? Why is it that every time we have an issue, you got to attack us, Barack? You don't do the white man like that. You don't do Asians like that. You don't do Hispanics like that. But when it comes to the black man, if we don't vote one way, y'all want to go and attack us.
And the fact that didn't nobody even think about this lady in 2020 when she ran, it's just mind-boggling. Then y'all got signs up in the back, all them signs that say black voters. That was very offensive. That was very racist. And I'm gonna say that was very racist. If it was Donald Trump and he had signs up that said black voters, literally CNN would be spinning that all day, calling him a racist.
Yep.
The stuff y'all try to pull over people's heads, man, is ridiculous.
Barack Obama gets called out after demanding brothers vote for Kamala Harris. So you had Barack Obama demanding brothers vote for Kamala Harris. Barack Obama ain't demand anybody else to vote for her. He ain't called nobody else out, just the brothers, right? Because brothers ain't allowed to vote for who they want to vote. Vote for their interests. Vote for what they believe will be best for them and their families. You know what I'm saying? They got to vote for Kamala because Obama said so. This is what I got from all that, man. So you had a lot of brothers calling out Obama. You know what I'm saying? Brothers like, boy, I know you ain't talking Obama like Obama. You was the swaggiest president. You talk a good game. I give you that. You know what I'm saying? I give you that. But we don't want to hear all that, man. Brothers gonna do what brothers do, man. Everybody has the right to vote for who they want to vote for, not who Barack Obama tells them to vote for.
For President Obama, first and foremost, you're not going to tell me what I'm going to do and what I'm not going to do. Number one, I ain't going to vote for Kamala Harris. I think that she's going to make a bad president. She's a bad vice president. Everything.
Now, where did he get this damn hat from? Where you get that hat from, brother? Go ahead.
Does. She tries to politicize it.
What kind of chicken farm are you running? I mean, I'm sorry. I'm going to let him speak. I can't help myself. Go ahead, bro.
And she hasn't shown the fact that she wants to put America first ever. So I'm not voting for that individual. Secondly, I think that it's really sad that you would come out against black men and actually degrade them because they're not picking the person that you want them to vote for. All right. And the last thing that I'm going to say is the moment that I became a Republican and a conservative, that is when I got the most hate from the opposite party. All right. Being that I'm a conservative, being that I'm a Republican, I've always been accepted. For the little bit of time that I may have been liberal, I never heard anything from the Republicans. They never came out and called me slanderous things. They never came out and called me racist things. The only time that I ever started hearing things about my skin color and about, racism or whatever was when I became a Republican. And that was from Democrats that were saying that. So no, I'm not going to be voting for who you want me to vote for. I'm going to do what I want as a man, and I'm going to be the man that I am. So you don't get to say anything.
Obama said what?
I already know.
I know they ain't brought Obama.
I already know.
To try to think he gonna get some straightening somewhere.
Okay.
I just know they ain't did that. And then he gonna have the nerve to say, y'all better be glad.
I'm over here holding my breath. I already know. Y'all get your family friendlies ready. Get your family friendlies ready.
Michelle ain't here. What he gonna do? What is Michelle gonna do? You calling out black men specifically for not voting for Kamala because she's black. But what did you do for the black men while you were there? What did you do for us? I'm trying to figure it out right now. You want to call us out of all the races. You want to call us out. Yeah. You want to say that we supposed to just be supporting her because she's black. Okay, what did you do for us? I seen you do a lot for the LGBTQ. Plus, I think I said that right. I don't want to offend nobody.
Right. Don't worry.
You did a lot for them. You did a lot for the police too.
Yeah, we know what you meant.
You the one started back the blue. But y'all want to say Trump trying to get a police immunity. But you done brought your Newport smoking on here and want to say something and try to call us out. Call us out. I bet the people in Flint, Michigan still got a lot to say about you because last time I heard they still ain't got safe water.
No water out there.
But you talking about us. Man, if you don't sit your down somewhere, I don't care if they Blake, hold up.
He mad. He mad.
My bad, y'all. I was looking for a give because I done ran all out.
Capacity of you to say
you all see how mad black men were at Donald Trump, at Barack Obama. Everybody saw that. Okay. And again, it's all gonna come to fruition in a minute. Everybody saw how angry. Oh my God, look at all these black men. Some of y'all might have forgot this. I have not. It's in my little Rolodex. Black men were angry at Barack Obama. And these are just the ones that made videos. So what about the ones that didn't make videos but harbor the same sentiments? Let's keep listening.
To us that we are required and we better vote for Kamala Harris and that we don't want to see a woman in a position of power. You're a liar. I remember in June of 2010, I was in Baghdad, Iraq, and I watched your State of the Union address as a proud young black man to see a black president on the television. But I listened to you as you told the American people that we would not spend any additional resources in Baghdad or in Afghanistan, and we're going to bring our troops home in December of 2014. Right then and there, I knew you couldn't be trusted. Why? Because I'm watching them build sidewalks, build streets, and construct buildings in Baghdad, Iraq in 2010, as you say we're going to leave in 2014. So now that you get on a stage or a platform and try to bully us and belittle us and try to make the world believe that we're not intelligent enough to see what you and the demonic Democratic Party is doing, you're the biggest problem to black people, not the Republican Party. Just because our policies differ or our views differ or our perspectives and values differ, now you want to attack? No, Barack, you're a liar and you're part of the problem.
I just need you to understand something, all you young people in here. When Barack Obama was running for president, he could do no wrong. Our grandmothers would have chose him over us. You understand me? So now, little under 20 years later, to have this many black men, especially because we were his number one supporters. We wanted to see the brother win. He was out there playing basketball, talking about he was Chi-Town, okay? And we was 100. We wanted this W. And black women stood right long as they saw Michelle out there with them pretty kids and pretty little girls out there, and they was like, oh yeah, she's one. We love this man, Barack Obama. And so in less than 20 years, and see, let me tell you something. I'm gonna give y'all some game. I've learned this a long time ago. If somebody say something bad about you, that means they've been wanting to say something bad about you. If they use an excuse to say, oh, well, see, I blah, 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 that means any excuse would have worked. So what this tells me, it's a lot of black men that wanted to say something about Barack Obama, and they've been wanting to say it for a long time, but they held it in. But now it's like, oh, hell no. So it was a collective, oh, everybody in the chat room, it was a collective, oh, hell no. Because this is not the worst stuff he said, okay? But this was just like, it's been built up. You see? So I want you to keep that in mind. We've been wanting to tell him all. I've been having something to say about Barack Obama since 2010, after the first 2 years of his first presidency, and I was on Facebook. Go to my Facebook page. But we've been wanting to say that. Let the brothers finish speaking.
Obama. Who the hell are you, man? Who the hell are you? Talking to brothers like you somebody's daddy. Like we can't think for ourselves. And I need to put the word out about you brothers who were standing there with him as he, talks down on men, black men in particular. Y'all should have left. I don't even know why y'all stood there and listened to that foolishness. No, and let me say this too, Mr. Obama. I bet you wouldn't go and talk to black men in mega spaces like that. I tell you that. You know where to go. You sitting over there addressing black men in a safe space. You wouldn't dare come over to black men in mega spaces talking that crap. I guarantee you that. You ain't nobody's daddy, man. Acting like black men can't think for themselves, and when we do, we somehow don't like women. Man, if you don't get your sissy up out of here, yo, light the White House in gay color.
We don't like her record as San Francisco district attorney. We don't like her and how she targeted black people. Who is this big ass dude sitting back there with old dirty t-shirt on? Look at that. It looked like his t-shirt is drunk. My God, look at this dusty dude with this dirty t-shirt on. Just laid back, looking like he just ate a big piece of a damn pork fat or something like that. Let's let the brother finish speaking.
We don't like the fact that she got on television and specifically said in an interview, how can you expect me to do something for black people? I'm not going to do something for black people. We already know who.
Open your mouth when you speak, sir. Open your mouth up when you speak. We can't see your words. It's people that can't hear. They need to read your lips, but your mouth closed. Look like you're hot somewhere. Go ahead and finish, sir.
We're dealing with. We've made a determination that we don't like her for certain reasons, and you say that she has articulable policies. What policies has she articulated?
I don't know what she articulated, but you need to get that t-shirt taken care of. That one needs to be in file 13. So you're out there looking dusty and dirty. Your shoulders are wide. Okay, whatever chair you're sitting on is creaking and dying underneath you. But I'm gonna go ahead and let you finish. Out of this.
More importantly, what policies has she articulated that are going to benefit black men? There's a lot of reasons other than.
Let me. Anybody in here say who this dude look? This dude don't look like me. I don't know who y'all talking about. Okay, he don't look nothing like me. Okay, he look like he might be. I don't know. He look like he might be like a Mexican or something like that. He look like a Mexican mixed with a little Dominican, maybe a little Asian, and like he's a half Samoan or something. Look at that fat meat on his neck. This dude is humongous. Okay, look at this big old dude right here. Man, let's hurry up and get him on
her ethnicity and her sex that we wouldn't vote for her. Most black men voted for Hillary Clinton. She still lost. Sir. So that clearly, in the same group of men who voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016 are still here in 2024. We just don't want to vote for her because of her policies.
You just know President Obama's just sitting somewhere like, what did I say? What happened? He's so used to, coming and going as he pleases, saying whatever he wants to say, not being held accountable for what he didn't do in office. Honey, the oil that he once had, it has run dry. We already had someone in office who was like us.
Yep, we did.
We already had someone in office who had to work harder, who had our story. And what did we get? A part of what Kamala's getting is because of him. And we don't want a 2.0. The Democrats are so used to us voting for someone who's less racist, but still incompetent, that when we, discuss some real world issues, they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. And if it wasn't for his own VP and his piss poor leadership, Kamala wouldn't be having such a hard time right now.
So I just got this one question for Barack Obama. When you gonna talk to the white man?
Shit, you ain't gonna talk.
When you gonna talk to the Hispanic man and the Asian man,
no,
and then
I ain't gonna do that.
All the other race of men out here in America that are voting? When are you gonna talk to them about who they need to vote for? I really can't stand this. I really don't understand why black people of certain caliber or status who think they're quote unquote better than us regular black folks.
Talk to them.
These type of black folks, the celebrities included.
Yes.
Why do they feel like they can talk to the black people the way they want to talk to black people? Like we supposed to just fall in line. Are we they Negroes now?
Yep,
are we their Negroes?
They think,
because I'm confusion. I just really can't understand this. Like
they think they are.
If you can't see the pandering,
I see it.
You're blind.
I see it.
What the hell's the matter with you, Obama?
Hold on a minute. I don't know how he slipped in there, but I just want to point out that even the sisters came out like, "Oh hell no." Hell no. I've never seen black women come out. And this is when I knew that the gender war was, because we are all on the same page when it comes. You're not just gonna sit up here and talk bad about black men and call us dumb and stupid and say we sexist. It's not true. When the sisters came through, I'm like, oh yeah, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. But let's let this fella go ahead, sir. What did you like to say, sir?
getting up there and addressing all your brothers only, telling
you want to be involved, you want to be addressed like the brothers, sir. I mean, you don't really look like. Go ahead.
them that Kamala Harris grew up like them in the same city.
He just want to be mad. He just want to be mad at Barack Obama. Let's let him finish. Go ahead.
As them, went to the same schools as them. What are?
I'm not gonna let you finish. Get on up out of here. Let's another sister talk. Go ahead.
Harris, because you know Obama told you to. Let's talk about it. So yesterday, Barack Obama decided it was a good idea to come out of his house, save Kamala Harris's sinking ship in Pittsburgh, and talk shit about Trump for a few minutes, and then gather a bunch of black men behind signs.
No, family friend. Don't be using them words like that. I was just about to say you look so well spoken, and I know you're not going to use any profanity, and you just dropped the S-bomb. You better watch it. You better watch it on this broadcast. We are family friendly here. You better watch it. But go ahead.
That says black male voters, and basically tell them you better vote for Kamala Harris. The numbers are not looking good, and especially amongst the brothers. You guys supported me when I was running, and I expect you to support her. I expect you to vote for Kamala Harris.
You try to tell us what to do.
It's the audacity for me. First of all, you can't tell any black man what to do ever. That's first of all.
I bet you tell black men what to do all the time. You look like you can tell everybody what to do. But go ahead, baby. Go ahead. She's like, I listen to her. She got good teeth. I'll be like, what you ain't gonna talk to me like that. But I'll listen. I'm gonna do what you said this time. But I ain't gonna do that. You can't keep talking to me like that. She looked like the type that could get you to do something that you hadn't planned on doing. I ain't going to the grocery store for you. Okay. I'm going because I want to go, and I'm gonna pick up what you said pick up, but not because you told me to do it. Okay. But she looked like she talked to plenty of brothers and get them what to do. She talked to you. But go ahead. Shout out to Gregory Cook.
Second of all, when is he massa? When is he gonna think that he could go in front of a bunch of black men and tell them what to do?
You ain't know.
Like, is that what we're doing right now? Yeah, like,
that's what he did.
Who made him in charge of what black men do or don't do?
And so Mama white. He half white as Mama white. We told him he was Black Jesus. And he took it too far. Go ahead.
Small percentage of black men who were either going to vote for Kamala Harris or were leaning and undecided, but leaning towards her, they're absolutely not going to vote for Kamala Harris. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to vote for Trump, but they're for sure not voting for her. So whatever their little plan was to like play in the emotions of black people or make black men feel like they can't make their own damn decisions, that backfired. It's all over the internet. Barack Obama, that was a bad move. It was a bad move. You did nothing for black men back in the day.
You didn't, baby.
So how do you get to come out being like a billionaire telling black men who are working?
Barack.
That she told us.
As a native of Chicago that watched your policies not do a single thing for black people. Not anything for crime, not anything for a better way of living.
Wow.
It is insulting that you decided to get up here and pander us as black men for not voting for Kamala Harris. You are only voting for Kamala yourself because you have no choice. We both know that deep down inside, you wanted the open convention, but the optics didn't look good. We also both know that there were way better candidates that you guys could have went with for president, but you guys didn't. And so now they bring you out, the big guns, because they need you to come up here and clean up this mess. Because you know what? You are a well-spoken man. Because I can tell you right now that your nominee is not. I can tell you that your nominee doesn't answer questions. Your nominee stutters all the time.
She washed her collard greens in the tub. That's where she lost most of us. But go ahead.
And she spits out word salads. And you expect for us.
That's what he did, brother.
To vote for her.
He did.
I'm black. I'm not stupid. I vote for policies. I vote for what's going to allow for my way of living to change. I vote so that everyone can have a chance and continue to be a free thinker and not have censorship. And then you got up here on this stage and insulted every black man in America. And it's not okay.
It's not okay.
And so now you guys are sitting here and you want us to vote for this administration, which caused the highest inflation, grocery prices suck, and they don't let everybody in the border. And if I remember Barack Obama, you were the deporter in chief. You deported over 3 million people.
And for your nominee to not even be smart enough that when someone asks her a question, what would she do differently than what Joe Biden did,
Nothing.
and her to say nothing is even more wild.
It's wild.
So before you decide to get up here and attack every single black man on this planet,
Brother, you're a little long-winded, brother. You're a little long-winded. Go ahead, wrap this thing up. Wrap it up. Come
I
on.
want you to take a self-reflection and think about the behaviors that you're doing and that you're trying to put on us because we don't want to vote for Kamala. I want you to really look down deep inside of yourself and say, would you really vote for her if you wasn't a part of the Democratic Party? If it wasn't your job, would you really vote for her? I'm pretty sure you wouldn't. Because the scrutiny that you went through to become president, she hasn't even went through.
Yeah, wrap it up.
No one voted for her.
Come on, timekeeper.
At all.
Timekeeper.
You guys inserted her.
Timekeeper.
And so now here you come, being the sweeper in chief to try to clean up the mess. But I got a surprise for you, Barack. We are going to continue to be free thinkers. We're going to continue to fight people who want to censor us.
We're going to got to get you out of here, but we're going to get somebody else up here. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you. Let's get somebody else in here real quick because
book a little bit longer for 4 more years.
Look, bro, I can't. You doing too much. You got to land your plane, okay?
Book a little.
No, you got to land. Go ahead.
That's not what I want to do.
Oh Lord, I can't get rid of it.
Whole world falling apart, and you got your Madam VP cranking one up on live television for y'all to see. How nice! And then you got Obama going around the mulberry bush, coming out the woodworks like Christmas past, talking about some I'm not getting enough energy from the brothers. What? You get more than enough energy from the brothers, might I add. But needless to say, you need to be focused on what retirement home you want to go to and stop focusing on people that's not worried about what you got going on. You didn't serve your 8 years. Your services is no longer needed, sir.
Thank you, baby.
Go worry about your husband, I mean your wife, and stop trying to promote this lifestyle.
Wait a minute. Was that? Maybe I didn't hear that. Did she say something about Queen Michelle? I hope she didn't. No, she didn't. Go ahead. Let me listen back to that.
You didn't serve your 8 years. Your services is no longer needed, sir. Go worry about your husband, I mean your wife, and stop trying to promote this lifestyle that most of us don't even want to be a part of. Leave folks alone. The whole world falling apart. I don't hear y'all saying nothing about that. All y'all care about is votes and having power over innocent people that don't even know what's good for them no more. So my best suggestion to this organization, administration, whatever y'all got going on, you need to focus on yourself. Focus on that, because we got somebody else in mind that's going to focus on the American people. This is a business, and we all in this together. And since y'all seem to forgot about that, y'all could just get out the way so we can do bigger and better things. Okay? Yeah. Have a good day.
All right, this message is to former President Barack Obama. The congregation of black men does not need your advice or your guidance on who to vote for. Especially when you showed your true character and your true colors when you were the president.
You did.
When you were the president, last time I recall, you had...
Your true colors are rainbow, sir. Your true colors, Barack Obama, sir, are rainbow colors.
You had the House, you had the Senate, and you had the executive branch for 2 years. You could have passed anything, any legislation that would have helped black men in the black community. But I wonder, what did you choose to make your main focal point?
Rainbow.
The LGTV community. And that's cool and all. That can be your prerogative.
Somebody write LGTV community. LGTV community, like the brother said. Go ahead.
But don't try to bring your dusty ass back over here to black man and that you could tell us who to vote for.
I feel your passion, brother. You got to watch the A word, okay? We don't want to mess up Uncle D's family-friendly broadcast. It's Friday. We having a good time. Ain't nobody in this chat room got nothing else to do. That's why they listening to me. I'm trying to, I don't want to get my little stream canceled. So let's watch the language, sir. Watch the language. Okay, you slid that one out. Watch the language, but go ahead.
No, we're not voting for Kamala Harris. We don't give a damn about all of these scare tactics that you use against black women. Oh my God, they're going to take away abortion. They're going to take away our food stamps, welfare, government assistance. Going to take away all of our handouts. They're not going to forgive our student loans. Well, guess what? Black men, we don't give a damn. Our community is destroyed. Our women are raising the kids, and our kids are destroying and tearing up the goddamn street. The same people that you made your main focal point are endangering the minds of our women. They are endangering the minds of our kids. And let's get another thing straight. You're an East African, half Kenyan man who wasn't raised with the same values as your dad because he wasn't there. Most of us in America, we are West African by ancestry.
Yeah, he is.
Igbo, Yoruba, Angola, Congolese.
Yeah, he been waiting to say this. This is not something he just thought of. Oh, Barack Obama. This again, I told you, if people got something bad to say about you, all they need is an excuse, and they're gonna tell. They don't like you. All right, they've been not liking you for a long time. This brother had the whole. You an East African immigrant. Your mama white. You ain't black. You wasn't raised by your daddy. We ain't from where you from in Africa. Okay, he been wanting. You ain't like us. They not like us. That's basically what they saying. This is how black people been feeling, black men especially, but we've been holding it back. This man is done. When I tell you that Barack Obama is done, I told y'all then he was gonna go places and start getting disrespected. They were gonna start booing him. You understand what I'm saying? And this is what you're gonna see happening. This is what happens when white supremacy, right before white supremacy breaks its tools. This is what happens. But let's finish.
Ghanaian, Ashanti, that's what we are.
Yeah.
So no, I don't know what your values are, but I know what most black men's values are, and they're not the same values that the Democratic Party holds.
We said party like
so I'm gonna tell you like this: I could give a damn about the Democratic Party or the Republican Party, but I'm gonna go vote for Trump. You want to know why?
Why?
Just to let black women know who run this shit.
Motherfucker. You see that? He slipped the S. That was 4 dams, the ass, and the SHIT. I mean, but anyway, let's see. Oh, I already know. I could tell.
Played in our face for 8 years. Then y'all came on a year after he was out of the presidency. The dude asked him why you didn't do nothing for black people. The motherfucker said I can't do nothing for just a certain group of people. But you did do something for a certain group of people, sir. The LGBT community is a certain group of people that you did shit for.
Family
the immigration, the immigrants is a certain group of people you created shit for.
Family friendly. Come on, get it out.
All you did for black people was take,
and
give the other fucking groups of people. And then to sit there and
brother. Let's put our hands up.
You couldn't do nothing for a certain group of people. And you say you a black man? Hey man, I don't care what. Man, listen, man.
Get it out,
my
brother.
loyalty will always first and foremost be to my black.
Amen.
To my motherfucking
family
culture. Because that's what I come from.
That's
and just the same for Caucasian man. First and foremost, his loyalty should be for his culture.
Yeah.
Asian man,
Come
his
on,
culture.
Get it out.
And go on so on.
Get it out.
You as a black man to sit there and say that shit?
Yes.
Where's your loyalty, man?
Where's your loyalty?
Malcolm X turned over in his grave when you got up there and took that presidential nomination. And you didn't do shit for us, bro.
Family friendly.
You didn't
Come
even
on now.
represent reparations.
Amen.
You didn't even speak on your own, boy. He didn't even speak on reparations,
He
Obama. How dare you?
He didn't do it.
How dare you?
Yeah, I know.
When my ancestors went through slavery, my ancestors, my mama, my daddy, my mama picked cotton home, boy. My mama picked cotton.
Get on out, brother. Get it on.
And you ain't even talk about
reparations. Get it out, brother. Come on out.
You ain't even bring it up. Brother. And you say you couldn't do nothing for a group of people.
You're here, brother.
How about the people that was enslaved?
Yes, Lord.
How about the ancestors?
Yes,
how about our bloodline?
Yes, brother. Yes.
We were enslaved.
Wow.
100 years ago, not less than 100 years ago, man. That shit wasn't long time ago. We were picking cotton, being called less than a human, and you say you couldn't do nothing for us? You ought to be ashamed of yourself as a black man.
He should be.
I despise everything you are and everything you will be. You ain't no black man. You ain't nothing to us. And if anybody would vote for anybody that is a friend of yours, that is a counterpart to yours, that is in any unison to Obama, you ain't a friend of mine.
Preach it, brother. Preach it. Preach it. All right.
My ancestors bled.
Yes,
my ancestors were nuts were cut off. My ancestors were torn, all in the name, and you ain't even bring up reparations, man. We ain't walking out. We as black people walk in the door less. And you won't think and you know it. And you
didn't think to bring it up. He didn't bring it up, brother.
Man, you ain't shit.
Yeah. Sorry to disappoint you, Mr. Obama.
All right, let's all the saints, let's pray for the brother. The brother was delivering a message. The brother was delivering a message, and I want you all to understand that that brother meant every word of that. That was the ancestors coming out speaking on behalf of that brother. Okay, y'all need to understand that. All right, all right. So let the passion run free. Hallelujah. Everybody type hallelujah in the chat room. Let's continue. Go ahead.
But being that the fact that she's a motherfucking woman is not the reason why we.
You can't be in here cussing. You can't come out this the first 30 seconds. You didn't drop the ML for family friendly. Okay, we can't do that. Now you got to be careful, sister. Okay, you got to watch the MFers.
We are not voting for her, my dear. The reason why we are not voting for her is because just like your motherfucking ass.
Family friendly. Family friendly. You slid that one out on me. Family friendly. Look, that's 2 MFers. You ain't been on here but 10 seconds. That was 2 MFers, ma'am. Okay? This is family friendly Fridays. You can't be in here dropping MFers in my broadcast. Okay? I'm just saying, the world is watching. Now I'm going to give you another chance. And if you hit another MF, I'm going to slide you on up out of here. I just want you to know that. Not going to play these games.
We the one that voted your motherfucking ass.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
Into this motherfucker.
That's too many.
Only for you to go 8 motherfucking years and have done absolutely motherfucking nothing.
Hell yeah, I got to get out of here.
The only thing that you did was take out what? Saddam Hussein, whatever the fuck, that terrorist was.
Oh, no.
Congratulations, big.
No, we got to get you out of here. You are not going to ruin my broadcast. You will not come up in here with your MFers and your F-bombs, and you just went on and on. I would have got the whole thing demonetized. No. Okay, he look like he ain't cussing. Let's get him. No.
I saw with Barack Obama. The greatest con ever pulled upon the United States of America. Showed up, slithered up on stage last night. And he decided to tell the brothers that we need to get our black asses behind Kamala because we black.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Black. You look like a deacon at the church and you talking about black ass, sir. So I need you to do better, elder. I need you to do better, elder. You can't be on the internet talking about black behinds. I just had to get rid of that cussing lady, sir. You got to be better. Set an example. Be an example for the children. Okay, you cut, sir. Come on now. Now do better.
And that's what we do as black people. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, this fool who is confused about his sexuality at best, gonna stand back and tell me as a full-blooded black man who I should vote for.
Yep.
And you notice the media photoshopped this Obama out of history. Don't y'all forget Barack Obama's white.
You remember.
And Donald. They have successfully erased her from history. Like the bitch never existed.
You just hold on a minute.
And
did you just drop the B word? Come on, Deacon. You can't be in here dropping B words and such, man.
And it's questionable about who his real daddy is. He claims Barack Obama Sr. is his father, but a lot of people think it's Frank Marshall Davis.
Okay, all right.
Google Frank Marshall Davis.
I'm not about to Google that.
Barack Obama. And you see what I'm talking about. He don't know nothing.
No. We're going to get you on up out of here, too. You doing too much with the cussing and carrying on. And, excuse me. Somebody type family friendly in the chat room. I do my best. I do my best to try to, but some people, they slide them in. All the children who are listening to this, I apologize. Do not use profane language in public, especially as a young person. Don't do it. Uncle D saying you should be able to speak okay, in a clear and deliberate fashion, without using profane language. It has more reflection upon you than anyone else, okay? I expect better from you. And I apologize for those adults. Sometimes adults don't make examples. I'm sure you've heard your mother and father drop a few around the house. I know I do. I know I do. But nevertheless, public, we want to maintain a certain level of dignity and respect and decorum. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Nevertheless, look here. So you saw the reaction. Black men, we weren't just angry, we were disgusted. We saw Barack Obama's speech for what it was. It was elitists talking down to us, not talking to us, guilt tripping instead of addressing the real issues. He tried to shame us, dishonest, pretending like Kamala Harris grew up struggling was an insult. And then the other thing is controlling. I mean, you know, trying to force us to vote rather than earn it. And for years, Obama was the golden boy, untouchable, he beloved, above criticism. But now black men weren't buying it at all. Instead of rallying support, he drove more black men away. When we go back in history, we're going to say, you know what, that was a real big turn off to us. Now, the thing is, this moment isn't just about Kamala Harris. See, it was about Obama's fading power. Because remember what we talk about. The broadcast tonight is white supremacy always breaks its tool and who's next to fall. Okay, we saw what happened to Joy Reid. We seen what happened to some of these other folks. And again, for years, Obama could say anything, and Black America would just nod along like, okay, but now he's lost his grip. Black men aren't looking at him for answers anymore. Black men aren't trusting him blindly. Black men aren't scared of him. And that has got him panicked. We don't hold him in reverence. You understand? And that's why we lashed out. And that's why he gave that lecture instead of real appeal, because he knows as the ultimate political tool is running out. Now, here's the cold part about it. Here's the cold part about it. Now, the disrespect is getting up close and personal. I want you all, matter of fact, no, I'm gonna go ahead and roll through this. We're gonna do this because I want y'all to enjoy your weekend. Shout out to everybody who's been contributing Super Chat. I want you to look at this video, okay? This was from a couple of weeks ago. You guys know who Anthony Edwards is? He's a ball player, okay? This is Anthony Edwards. I'm gonna put it on the big screen. I want y'all to see this. I want you to hear this exchange, okay, between our former president, Barack Obama, and this young ball player who's probably in his early 20s. Listen to what he has to say. And I'm surprised nobody else is queuing in on this, okay? I'm gonna let it play. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna let it play, all right? And I'm gonna talk about it on the second round. Listen.
Think about this young guy. He can hoop a little bit, huh? Just a little bit, huh?
Man, y'all better stand down. I'm the truth.
He's the truth. He said he's the truth. Yeah?
He boy know.
LeBron.
Come on,
listen, are y'all talking to this young man? Because he just keeps on. Right now, he just said he's the truth and all that. And
the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
That's what he said.
You asked him, you tell him the whole context of the situation, though. You asked him what he think about this young man, and he said, I'm okay. I said, I'm the truth. He tripping. That's what happened.
What's wrong with that?
Ain't nobody laughing.
Gotta have that.
Yeah, that man the truth.
Gotta have a little swag like that.
He ain't lying.
He ain't lying.
He ain't lying.
And then he tried to double pat him. All right, so basically what we're seeing is you got LeBron James, we got Barack Obama, and then you got this young brother who plays ball. And Barack came in with that shade, that old man shade. Oh, what you know, boy? You don't know what you talking about. And dude was like, I'm the truth, homeboy. And there was a lack of deference. I mean, let's break this down. Are y'all with me? Are y'all ready to get up in there? Because see, this young man is not holding back. And this is how a lot of black men feel. It's some of y'all right now. If it was 2000, 2008, 2009, man, y'all have been like, man, I want to go meet Barack Obama. I want to take a picture with him, XYZ. And some of y'all still might because he's ex-president. But you're not really feeling him like that. It's like when Michael Jackson got accused of those horrible crimes, you see, that he was found not guilty of. Back in 1980s, man, people used to fall out and faint when Michael Jackson got on stage. But then after a while, his reputation was like, I don't know. Listen to this interchange between, we're going to break it down section by section.
What about this young guy?
What's up with this young guy? First of all, when old dudes call young dudes young guy, it's kind of like son. What up? You know, how you trying to son him down? What's up, youngster? You don't know nothing. And it's like, that's already disrespectful in man world. I'm just letting y'all know. But let's keep listening.
He can hoop a little bit, huh?
He can hoop a little bit. So you talking over me to somebody else while I'm standing rear right here. He can hoop a little bit. And my man come back strong and say, what?
A little bit, huh?
Man, y'all better stand down. I'm the truth.
He said, stand down. I'm the truth. He looked him in his eyes, Secret Service all around, and said, stand down. I'm the truth. He basically asserting himself. He's not giving this man who's a former president any deference. You don't think the environment has changed for Barack Obama? You out here telling us we need to pull our pants up and calling us thugs and being disrespectful. You think this is what he see? Huh? Let's keep listening.
He's the truth. He said it's the truth.
My man, like, yeah, I'm the truth. Now watch this. He trying to high sign. That's an old cool statement. Old school. He trying to hide. He gonna shell out. Hey, Barack. Hey, hey, LeBron. I know LeBron on first day. LeBron, is he the truth, man? Is he really the truth? You trying to overtalk this little dude and trying to make him get valid. He don't need your validation. He probably don't even like you.
Yeah.
People know.
People know I'm the truth, and now you trying to clean it up.
LeBron.
LeBron. Is he the truth, man? Is he the truth? Because he must not know who I am. Hey, goofy self. Let's keep listening.
Come on, listen.
Now's the awkward moment right now. I want y'all to feel this awkward because LeBron ain't really trying to get in it like that. Listen.
Come on, listen. Are y'all talking to this young man?
Are y'all talking to this young man? Because he clearly don't know who I am. I'm the president, okay? I'm Black Jesus himself. And see, now he feels awkward because he's at this point, you know, he ain't really, the crowd, the dudes are like, man, whatever, man. You haven't been the president in 20 years. You did, the common consensus among Black men is that you haven't done anything for us. And you up here trying to clown me on my profession. What if I start saying you wasn't crap as the president? You didn't do anything for Black people. You understand what I'm saying? Keep listening.
He just keeps on, right now he just said he's the truth. And
he just keeps on standing up for himself, sir. That's what he's doing. He just keeps on standing up for himself, and you keep teasing me. You know what I'm saying? You keep trying to shame this young man about being proud of himself and his skill set on the court.
And all that, and
the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
That's what he said.
You asked him, you tell him.
Now I want you to hear this interchange. You got the president talking to you got Barack Obama talking to LeBron James, and my man says, so what did he say? He said he the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And then LeBron is kind of feeling awkward. You can see by the way his head is shifted off to the side. He got his hands in his pocket. He ain't trying to mess up his money. This whole exchange for a trained eye is awkward. You understand what I'm saying? Keep listening.
The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the
That's
truth.
what he said.
You asked him, you tell him the whole country.
In other words, fool, tell him what you really said. Tell him you was trying to low-key disrespect me. Tell him what you said. Listen to this. Listen to the young brother speak up after Barack says that.
The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the
That's
truth.
what he said.
You asked him, you tell him the whole context of the situation, though. You asked him what he think about this young man, and he said, I'm okay. I said, I'm the truth.
You see how he stood up for himself? Ain't nobody scared of you, man. And look, now it's awkward. How dare he talk back to me? How dare he? I'm Black Jesus. Somebody type black. Now it's that awkward laugh. My man ain't smiling, no. I don't see no giggles. This is no No kicks and giggles. Look at my man is like,
okay, I said I'm the truth. He triggered. Yeah. That's what happened.
Ain't nobody laughing.
What's wrong with that?
Nobody laughing. Old dude to try to defuse the situation said, ain't nothing wrong with that. You see what I'm saying?
Nothing wrong with that. We gotta have that. Yeah.
You had to back down. You see what I mean?
That man the truth. Gotta have a little swag like that. He ain't lying.
Now I want you to watch this subtle demonstration of he's trying to pat him on the shoulder, like, all right, whatever. It's a put down. Watch how he hit him on the shoulder a couple of times. Yeah, all right, kid, get up out of here. And so now he did that to try to save it. It's a lot being played out in that video. I saw that for the first time, and I knew at some point I had to deal with it. Okay. Now here's the thing, and some of y'all might be thinking I'm over. Look, I'm gonna put that up on my I think it is on my my Instagram page. But here's the thing, family. Okay, so Barack Obama, he's clearly lost control of his support. Okay, and this moment, it's not just about Kamala Harris. It's not about Trump. It's not about who's in office. It's not about that moment he had with that young man. Obama's his influence is over black men and black people in general is fading. Okay, for years he could just say anything. Right, for years. Right, we're not looking to this man to answer questions anymore. We're not trusting him blindly. We're not scared of him. You understand? We recognize he's a political tool, and that time for him being a tool is running out. Barack Obama could have just walked away from the whole game gracefully back in, 2016, couldn't he? He could have just walked away gracefully. Hell, he could have not said anything ridiculous to Trump at that correspondence dinner, right? Which inspired Trump to run in 2016. But my thing is, Barack Obama, he could have just done like the Bush family did. What's their playbook? Faded into the background. You don't even hear anything from George Bush unless a president dies or something like that, or somebody gets inaugurated. And the thing about him is, despite serving two very controversial terms, President Bush, he understood that the president's relevance has an expiration date. Obama isn't Bush. He doesn't understand that. Obama's arrogance wouldn't allow him to shut up and sit down. His elitism, his ego, his belief in his own myth has convinced him that he could walk back into the room and still command the same respect and the same blind loyalty as he did 20 years ago. He thought he could return like a king, when in reality, he overstayed his welcome. There's a reason why former Republican presidents disappear when they leave office. I'm talking about George W. Bush, his father, H.W. Bush did the same. George Bush, he's retreated to Texas, back in Crawford, Texas. He very rarely speaks. You see him passing candy to Michelle Obama every now and then. Jeb Bush, I ain't seen Jeb Bush since, my God, when was the last time we saw Jeb Bush? He's kept his mouth shut since his failed 2016 presidential bid. Why? Because they understood that power is temporary. They knew that once they leave office, your influence declines rapidly unless you're planning on a political comeback. If you speak too much, if you open your big mouth, like Barack Obama has done so many different times, if you insert yourself in too many conversations, people start asking hard questions about your past decisions. They played the long game, these other presidents. They knew that staying out of the spotlight was a smart move because history would soften their image over time. Obama, on the other hand, this president made the mistake of believing his own hype. And so now, having left office as a president that we liked, now people are like, man, you didn't do anything for black people. Why are you still talking to us? We treated Obama like a political god. Okay, the media worshiped him, Black America idolized him, liberals saw him as their savior, and he got used to that. He got used to never being questioned. So when he saw black men breaking away from the Democrat Party, when he saw them no longer taking his word as gospel, he panicked. That's why he couldn't resist coming back, not to inspire, but to lecture. That's why he scolded black men in Pennsylvania, telling them that not voting for Kamala Harris was not acceptable. That's why he doubled down on his elitist, out-of-touch attitude instead of addressing real concerns. Obama truly believed that he could show up, flash the same old smile, and that black America would just fall back in line, but it didn't work. See, the mistake is this. His biggest mistake was assuming he could still control the narrative. What he failed to understand is that black men weren't just rejecting Kamala Harris, we were rejecting him. We were his economic failures. Black wealth declined under his presidency. Okay? His silence on brutality, like Trayvon Martin, Mike Brown, Tamir Rice, they all died during his administration. And what did he do? He told us to stay calm. When we having a whole emergency, let me run that back to you. Trayvon Martin, Mike Brown, and Tamir Rice, all young babies, young boys, died during his administration. And he told us to stay calm. He told us that if he had a son, Trayvon Martin would look like his son. All that man left us was a legacy of broken promises. Hope and change never came for Black America. And for 8 years, he gave Black people nothing but speeches. And now he thinks he can lecture us into voting for another candidate. That's what he thought, who would do the same. And Black men and Black women saw through it. Black men and Black women saw through it. That's why Kamala lost. They saw his return not as an inspiration, but as desperation. They saw him not as a leader, but as a puppet. They saw him as a tool. And that's what we're getting to. See, Obama failed to test the political longevity. Instead of playing a long game like the Bush family, instead of disappearing so that history could be kinder to him, he got greedy. He got arrogant. He thought he could insert himself into this 2024 election. He thought he was still that guy. But now he's facing the same fate as Joy Reid and Don Lemon and these other political figures who outlived their usefulness. And the media won't protect them forever. The Democrat Party will move on, and Black America has already started turning on them. The only question is, how long before the white liberal elite stop pretending they still need him? Because see, once they decide he's outlived his purpose, he'll just become another broken tool. Now, I want to take the opportunity to thank everybody who came through in the chat room. I still got more to say. I got a lot more to say, but I want to make sure I acknowledge my people at the height of this broadcast, okay? Because these are the real MVPs up here, man. Good looking out. I want to start with my Cash App crew. Thank you, Mr. Richardson. Thank you, Miss Expansion Wiring. Good looking out. Thank you so much. And now I want to go ahead and we talk about broken tools tonight. And you're not going to get this analysis anywhere else. And that's why we got 26 super chats. Big shout out to everybody who came through with the super chats. I appreciate y'all. I'm not finished. I got some more to say. And I especially want to talk to you so-called conservatives. So y'all hang in here for a minute. Candace Owens and Myron Gaines, I got something for you. But before we get to that, big shout out to my man From Here to Enlightenment. Welcome to the membership. We got 26 super chats. It'll be great if we can get 4 more. That'll bring me to 30. That'll be purty. You understand? Clearly, I am not going to have a huge channel because I'm up here talking about white supremacy and really giving you all some deep dish pizza up in here. This is not that thin crust. You see what I'm saying? It's got all the toppings on it. So, you know, if you guys learned something, and I know you did, I know you haven't thought about this yet, not in this way. You see what I mean? And whether you like what I have to say about Barack Obama or not, you know what I say is true. Look how the young brother treated him. They basically clowned him. You see what I'm saying?
This young guy. can hoop a little.
You ain't nobody. That's basically what he said. You ain't nobody special. Who are you? You see? So it's not me telling you. It's you seeing that you already know what I'm saying is true. I'm just telling you, we looking at a tool about to be broken. You see what I'm saying? And everything that goes, you get that Bill Cosby treatment. Get that P. Diddy treatment. Who I wouldn't be surprised if Barack Obama ended up on the Epstein list, even if he wasn't on the Epstein list. But anyway, shout out to my man B. Tisdale. Support the broadcast. Greg Lemon Jr. Uncle D, grateful for your wisdom and not, man. Good looking out, brother. I appreciate you. Penny Ford. What's up, baby girl? Penny Ford, man. She was giving so many super chats. I'm like, man, can we just pass the collection plate to somebody else? Because thank you, though. I appreciate you. I don't know why they keep trying to force these tethers on white America while trying to replace us, and some of us were helping them do so. Yeah, that's true too, baby. Thank you, Penny Ford. Again, I was told that folks in Vegas are buying fake ice flak jackets on Amazon and rounding up immigrants for bounty. Wow, same thing all over again. Wow, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna revisit the whole situation about ICE and everything. I'll give y'all an update and what's really going on that in a minute. From here to enlightenment, do you believe that a lot of FBAs were already here prior to Columbus coming to America? If so, what percentage of us do you think there were already? I don't necessarily believe that, brother. I know there's a lot of people out there, and I wanted to hit on this, but I know it's a touchy subject. You know, there was a time when Black people denied their heritage and said, oh, I'm part Cherokee, or I'm part Comanche. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that, you know, some people have lighter skin and longer hair and whatnot. And so they wanted to attribute it to what it wasn't as opposed to what it was. Black women were brutalized during slavery. Black women were raped. There was SA. Black men also. Black children also. But the other thing I want to remind you guys that we are the products of breeding farms. And yeah, of course, there was also people who had children during enslavement and they weren't breeding farms. But largely, we went from a population in 1808 of 400,000 enslaved people. Okay. By 1860, 52 years later, there were 4 million. Okay. Imagine us going from right now, 40 million people. Black people. Imagine that increasing to 400 million Black people in 60 years. So that lets you know something happened. It was forced breeding. And a lot of people are ashamed of that. So they rather say, oh, no, our people were here already. It's just not true. And no matter how much you want to hide the atrocities that we had to suffer, I embrace the pain. I embrace the heartache. I see it for what it is. We went through the crucible. And we came out better. We came out stronger. And you just have to embrace that. You can't keep running from your real identity, pretending, oh, we were already here. No, we weren't. And we weren't here. We know we weren't here. There's documentation as to who was here. And we just need to stop making all these side arguments up and deal with what's in hand. It's embarrassing. And so a lot of people, instead of saying, yeah, my great-grandmother and mother was raped, had a bunch of children. We breeding farms out of Maryland, North Carolina, Virginia. They just want to pretend like, you know, something, make up a story. And I'm not going to allow you to do that. I don't care how many of these folks you have here on the end. There's just overwhelming documentation. There's receipts. There's releases. You telling people that all these thousands of books written about the subject on this side of the Atlantic and that side of the Atlantic, you think it's just made up? What about the documents? What about the photographs? What about the slave narratives? You see, that's my thing. And so I'm cool. So that's my answer. Thank you so much. LaShawn, welcome, LaShawn Jones. You're a new member. Good looking out, babe. We got 30 super chats. Give me the 35 if you learned something. If you hadn't learned something, I understand. But I know y'all learned something. I dropped too many dates and times and put too much stuff in context for you. But if we can get to 35, that'll be live. I'm going well past my bedtime. I hope you guys appreciate that part too. Mercer, Panama, thanks for the knowledge. Thank you. Penny Ford, thank you so much. Quick question. Who is our leader? Al Sharpton? Hell no, Penny. Al Sharp? Hell no. I don't even like Skinny Al. I like Fat Al better. Fat Al Sharpton, at least he was kind of honest, but you know, Al Sharpton is what he is. He can't lead no one. No, he sure can't. Talking about what did he say? Boycott Target or something like that and come shop in Costco. I wouldn't be surprised if he had some stock in Costco. But Shank, thank you so much. Bernard Harrell. Obama was who we wanted the world to think we were, when Trump is who America has always been. Excellent point. We complain about Trump, but Trump is who we voted for because he reflects our values at this time. Let's not be mad at that. Good looking out. Very keen observation, Penny. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Lavelle, he said, Paul Mooney called out our traders graham crackers. Funny. Yah kids, thank you for the $20 super sticker. Yeah, Cody Marshall. Obama called us sexist and misogynist. He sure did. And my man Haywood James, thank you, Frat. Thank you for that 100 bones at 99.99. Good looking out. Good looking out. You get the rock and roll, man. Carlette Strahan, Strachan, thank you for the $20 super sticker. Thank you so much again for the super sticker. Lady Shakari, I'm learning something. That's good. I'm glad you're learning something. I appreciate that. Mr. McDough, Miss McDough F4, thank you for the $1.99. Mr. McDough, thank you for the super sticker. Also, Penny Ford, we know that some folk don't get money until Monday the 1st, right? Which is why they won't be spending at Walmart this weekend anyway. So, hey, they did that. LOL, donate to the great channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm so motivated and inspired by you all that you're learning something. And I know that you'll remember this for the rest of your lives. These lessons and the things that we talk about. There are lectures that I saw back in the 1980s and 1990s, and I remember them. And that's why I recognize what I'm doing is important. It's affecting lives. It's changing people. And so, I just want to keep on doing this. I want this to be part of my legacy, and I want it to be a good thing. And that's why I speak the truth, y'all. Thank you, Lance Jackson. Also, my man Wayne Solomon said, keep the truth coming, Brother Sperling. This is free therapy for me, the therapist. Hey, all right. And LaShawn Jones said, appreciate all the good information. And I didn't know you were this funny. I didn't even know I was this funny either. I just be saying stuff that I be thinking like, Thank you so much, LaShawn. And Gregory Cook, thank you so much. Angela Patterson, thank you for the super sticker. Boris Barracuda, good looking out. And Vincent Robinson, thank you. Who else? He said, there you go. All right. I appreciate Jerome Payne. Thank you for collection plate offering. Good looking out. Also, Penny Ford didn't go to college, so I have included in my budget an imaginary college loan fund for when I learn something. Dennis doesn't look like he needs money, but appreciation never hurts. Show him love. Hey, thank you so much, baby. I appreciate you. You're so kind. All of you all, I really have enjoyed this. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been going hard for about a month straight, 4 hours. It takes me several hours to prepare. And so I might take a little break soon. Okay. I'm just going to let y'all know that. Might take a little break, but not tonight. Not tonight. Not tonight. Thanks everybody for the super chat. Now let me go ahead and say what I got to say. Let me get a little sip of my water. Hold on. Let me turn my music on. Yes, Lord. Let me get warmed up. It's good. Delicious. That's what I'm talking about. Let me go ahead and give y'all this. My little mood music playing in the background. Now, if history, because we talked about a lot of history tonight, and I try to sneak the history in on you guys. You learned a little bit about the slave trade. I dropped some names on you guys, a little bit about the Middle Past. I try to throw a little history in there. We're not just going to talk about these common political, these current circumstances without me dropping some knowledge on. I want you to get more than you would get out of any other broadcast. See, I want to put it in context for you. Solomon, the great King Solomon, said there's nothing new under the sun. And when you begin to see the patterns in the universe and you start seeing how the world really operates, then it becomes less of a less confusion. You see, I guess what I'm saying is the more rotations you have around the earth, the more you learn. And if you can read books and read history, something that I enjoy doing and I have always enjoyed doing for these years on this planet, then things become very clear. So I see things, you see, I see it because I've read, you know. But again, if history has taught us anything, it's that white supremacy always breaks its tools when they become useless. And if you've been paying attention, you can see it happening in real time. Joy Reid is gone. She was used to keep black voters in check. And the moment her ratings dropped, she lost influence and she was thrown out like garbage. And Barack Obama is on his way out. He thought he could waltz back into the black community and demand obedience, but black men rejected him outright. His words no longer carry weight, and soon he'll be politically irrelevant, and so he'll be useless. And you're going to see the treatment he gets. Charlamagne the God and Stephen Smith, them two cats are scrambling to prove that they're still valuable. Most of these actors and entertainers don't know what the heck to do. Did you see how much money Kamala Harris gave to all these different entertainers just to show up and support her? And did it help? No. No. So all these people are scrambling. See, they don't believe, they don't even believe what they're saying. These so-called folk like Stephen A. Smith and Charlamagne the God, but you know, they know the times are changing. And see, it doesn't matter if you're a black liberal or a conservative. If you're serving white supremacy, okay, which goes against the interests of your own people, and this is for anybody around the world, okay, recognize that your time is limited. Now, for these far-right black conservatives, okay, who are mocking and degrading and tearing down their own people for clicks and views, you walking directly into the same trap. You don't think the white liberals and the white conservatives have the same trap set up? They got the same blueprint. I see it happening right now. You got this man from Fresh and Fit called Myron Gaines. Myron Gaines is over there spewing, promoting and degrading black women. I'm not talking about loving critiques. I'm talking about promoting the worst stereotypes. The same thing he does with black men. And he's spewing this anti-Jewish rhetoric, which is going to get him nowhere quick. Same thing with Candace Owens, attacking Jewish people, attacking black people, completely unaware that the same conservative forces she aligns with will turn on her. You see these black YouTube so-called conservatives, right? Repeating white nationalist talking points, laughing at struggles of their own people, thinking they're safe because they have an audience. And I know Candace Owens is Caribbean, and I know Myron Gaines is East African, but as far as white folk concerned, y'all are all N-words. And that's how they see it. And they're using both of them as a tool. But see, they won't be safe for long because that's not how this system works. It doesn't matter how much money you have, how famous you are, or how long you've been useful. When white supremacy no longer needs you, you get discarded. Let me give you the play-by-play, okay? Let me tell y'all how I go. You heard it here first. All right, so this is how they break their tools. They use you to control your own people. You become a mouthpiece. You become the face, the voice that convinces black people to stay in line, or you sway them to do something. You get a media platform. You get endorsement deals. You get invitations to the White House. You made to feel special. You're a special little chocolate chip. I would say snowflake, but we ain't white. Special little chocolate chip. You above the rest of the little chocolate chips. Number two, after they use you to control your people, they make sure you alienate your own people. You start to distance yourself. Oh, I'm not like those black people. I'm not like those foundational black Americans. I'm not like those black women. I'm not like those black men. Oh no. You start talking down to those same people. You adopt their rhetoric, their priorities, their agenda. You enforce their rules, thinking it protects you. It's both liberals and conservatives doing the same thing. That's what I need y'all to understand. And see, the moment you lose influence, they abandon you. Once your people stop listening to you, you are useless. Your media deals dry up. You get kicked off YouTube, etc., whatever. Your political allies stop returning your calls. You become disposable, and then they attack you. They bring up old allegations. They find a scandal. If they can't find one, they're going to make it up. They strip you of everything you built. And now you have no people to defend you because you've abandoned your own black people. That's how the game goes. You all know the examples. One of the biggest examples is Bill Cosby. He was America's dad. He was making millions. And then for whatever crazy reason, he just started to jump out the box and start blaming black people for our struggles, parading around like a gate. The man went on the tour, okay, being a moral gatekeeper. Told us to pull our pants up and stop complaining about racism. But when white America turned on him, who defended him? Nobody. We spoke a little bit about it, but we wasn't in the streets because he abandoned his own people, because he abandoned us first. It does not matter if you are a liberal or a Democrat. If you find yourself speaking reckless about black folk, those are your people. You got to learn to speak to your people from a place of love. That's why I tell y'all, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to tell you to vote your interest. I'm here to tell you I love you. I'm here to tell you I support you. I love you despite yourself. That's why I support that boy, what's that boy's name? Aaron Sloan. That's why I support that boy. Same thing I did for Kevin Samuels. Same thing I did for so many other black folk that you all don't know about. If you're going to speak to your people, you got to speak to your people and put life into them. See, I don't have a side. I'm neither Democrat or Republican, even though I'm a registered Democrat and have been my entire life. I'm on the side of black people. Period. Whatever side, we need to, what's good for us. And that's where you need to be. See, O.J. Simpson thought he could transcend race by marrying that white woman and by living a life that ignored the realities of being black in America. And then when they came for him, you know, we didn't really care. We was happy to see O.J. We was happy to see Johnny Cochran get justice or win in court, but we were really rooting for Johnny Cochran. We wasn't necessarily rooting for O.J. Because see, O.J. had proven that he was no longer one of us. Just like Barack Obama, just like Joy Reid, just like Bill Cosby, just like Candace Owens and that other boy, what's his real name? Myron Mustafa, whatever his name is. Okay? Black people love Michael Jackson. We love Michael Jackson. He was one of us. We like Big Nose Mike. Big Nose Mike with the Jackson 5, that's who we love, but he tried to erase his blackness. And his transformation made him, Michael Jackson went from a young, black, handsome black man to looking like a middle-aged white woman in a lifetime. And then when white supremacy decided he was too big and they was ready to tear him down, black folk didn't stand up for him. Now, Mike truly never really turned his back on black people. And from what I understand, he always stayed down. But at the end of the day, his outward appearance made it appear as though he's trying to distance himself from his blackness. And so we took the cue. Okay. All right. And we all know the story of Tiger Woods, right? For years, Tiger Woods was telling us he was, what's the word? Caucasian. Remember that? He was calling himself Cobbling Asian. Caucasian, black and Asian, Cobbling Asian. You remember that? Basically, that was him telling the world he was distancing himself from the black struggles, even though his daddy was black. And his daddy taught him all the skills he needed to play at the highest level. He thought his golf skills would protect him. But the moment he had a scandal, the moment we found out, the America found out that he was messing with all them white women, he lost his deals. I think that white woman was a nanny and she ended up getting like $1 billion out of him and the kids. We didn't support him and white America turned their back on him, and instantly he'd never been the same. I think he broke his hip a couple times since then. So let me say this to you all. It doesn't matter how much money you make, how famous you are, or how many white allies and friends you have. If you do not have the loyalty, shout out to Yaya Kids. If you don't have the loyalty of your own people, you have nothing. Your job won't protect you. HR will fire you after you snitched on your coworkers and you'll be next, right? You've heard that before, right? Your political party won't protect you. They'll prop you up the moment you're no longer useful, you're done. Your celebrity status won't help you. Look at P. Diddy. The media will praise you today and bury you tomorrow. The only thing you have is your people. I want y'all to understand that. And loyalty is everything. Not blind loyalty, but strategic, intelligent loyalty to people who share your interests, your struggles, and your future. That means, and I'm not telling you to just vote for some black person just because of the color of their skin. Vote your interests. Vote your interests. And understand that white supremacists always use black faces to do his dirty work, to control us, to deceive us, to keep us in line. From the west coast of Africa to the plantation to the politics of right now. Understand that when those same faces outlive their usefulness, they're discarded, they're destroyed, and they're replaced. So if you think aligning yourself, whether it's Republican, a Democrat, a conservative, a left wing, whatever, if you think aligning yourself with them will save you, you need to think again. If you think disrespecting and disowning and treating your people bad and not doing what you're supposed to do for your people is worth selling out, history's proved otherwise. Barack Obama's a wealthy man. But what he don't realize and what many folk don't realize at this point, he's just another tool waiting to be broke. And you see it happening right before your eyes. This is Uncle D. I love you all. God bless y'all. As I always say at this time, I'm humbly appreciative of you all coming in here, hanging out with me. I hope you learned something. Shout out to the replay gang. If you get to the bottom of this, man, replay gang, make sure you type replay gang in the chat room. Nevertheless, this is Uncle D. I love you guys. And as I always say, I'm out.
Dennis Spurman.
In the city where the lights don't sleep, Uncle D got the vibe so deep. Representing men strong and free. Dennis Spurl is the king of the spree. In the streets where the rhythm flows, black men rising, that's how it goes. Uncle D got the truth to show. In his heart, that's where the fire glows. Late night tuning, light up the stream. Dennis Spurman, wisdom gleam. Voices whisper truth and insight. In his podcast, feel the light. Harmony in every word. Truth and laughter you've heard. Well, that's all right. Wave after wave of smooth delight. Dennis brings the dark to light. That's the blizzard, baby! Share the tales unfold. The stories warm like morning gold. Feeling the wisdom inside. Describing like time after time.
Black men, I want to salute you. Your incarceration rate is down. The education rate is up. We up. We went from, we are doing great for ourselves. you should salute yourself. Shout out to all the brothers out there, whether you're a truck driver or engineer, whether you're an electrician or garbage man, a doctor, a lawyer, if you a hard-working brother, if you fresh out the penitentiary, but you on your grind and you doing it legal and you trying to make amends for yourself, man, I salute you too, brothers. God bless you. This is Uncle D, and you know, I'm out.